Your body and doing something positive can reduce a lot of stress and make our community a lot more healthier and positive. And obviously, the more healthier and positive you are, it branches out and helps other people along the way. Other great things too is that we provide a lot of the equipment. Some of the equipment that many pieces of equipment, depending on what program or activity you're involved in, can be quite costly, but we actually provide all the equipment for you. We highly recommend that before you come to any one of our Parks and Recreation, health and fitness programs or sport programs, definitely consult your physician first before you take over or try to attempt to perform any tasks that we offer here, just to look over your overall health. And obviously start small and then build your way up. What's great about these programs too is somebody more than likely, or I can pretty much say, someone will always be here to help facilitate and teach you how to do certain things. So for instance, if you've never played basketball, if you've never played volleyball, if you've never played soccer before, someone will be available to ask questions. These intramural programs, it's a great way to learn basic fundamentals of how to properly play a particular sport. Again, at a low cost. Some programs are at a low cost, some are free. And again, just to get you out of the house, getting more involved with your community, getting out of the house, having fun in a positive, safe environment. Here at the Desert Breeze Community Center, our high school intramural programs are offered on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays it's volleyball. Thursdays it's basketball, and Fridays it's soccer. Times may vary from session to session depending what seasons and throughout the years going on. So feel free to give us a call or visit us here at the Desert Breeze Community Center. Our telephone number is 702-455-8334, and our address is 8275 West Spring Mountain Road, Las Vegas, Nevada 89117. There are also several recreation centers across the valley that do offer similar programs. And over here at the Desert Breeze Community Center, we're actually having a huge special event that's taking place on December 31st. Is our annual New Year's Eve lock-in for children between the ages of 6 to 11 years old. This event will usually this sleepover will take place from around between 6 to 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve, and will run through 8 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. But once again, it's a fun night for the kids, and obviously for a fun night for the adults too. But we highly encourage you to come out, and you can sign up here at the Desert Breeze Community Center at any time. It is a total of $50, and the $50 does include snacks and the children's meals as well. For more information on all of our different Parks and Recreation facilities, give us a call on our main hotline number at 702-455-8200, and check us out at our website at ClarkCountyNV.gov/parks. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you at one of our recreation centers real soon.
It's the best cultural center in all of Clark County. Welcome to Winchester.
Hi, my name is Irma Varela, Cultural Supervisor at Winchester Cultural Center. And I'm here to invite you to our kick off the season of the holidays on December 16 with the Celebrity City Choir group. They're excellent barbershop group that they come and they're gonna sing original songs and some great traditional songs of the holidays on December 16 at 7 p.m. The tickets are $11 in advance or $13 at the door. We hope to see you at Winchester Center. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Winchester Cultural Center. My name is Jay Nagel. We have a lot coming up here at the park. To start off with, our senior talent show, American Not So Idol.
Luck be a lady tonight. Luck.
The performance of the show will be on December 13th. Come and get your tickets, $5. Also coming up, our bingo game, which will be Tuesday, November 28th. Our karaoke on Thursday, November 30th. And our introduction to board games on Tuesday, November 21st. Every Wednesday we have our card games and our Wii bowling. On Thursday, December 7th, come and join us as we make our Christmas crafts. And on Tuesday, December 5th, Brigitte Kelly will be our senior spokesperson. So come on out. Come out and play with us.
Hi, I'm Colleen Duffy, the new recreation specialist at Winchester Cultural Center. Today I'm here to tell you about our upcoming performance of the Brothers Grimm Spectaculathon. Join us for this rollicking ride as the Winchester headliners perform on November 30th, December 1st and 2nd, in the evening 6 p.m. Tickets are $8, or come join us for a matinee on Saturday where tickets are $7. Join us on Friday, December 8th for the Starcatchers Winter Recital and Final Performance closing its 15th year anniversary. The award-winning Starcatchers dance program will conclude its 15th anniversary year with a winter recital featuring original choreography in hip-hop, ballet, jazz, and contemporary dance. The show is at 7 p.m. on December 8th. Tickets are $8.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Foster, and I just want to let you guys know that my trio with Jake Langley on guitar and Jess Gopin on drums, we will be here at Winchester Cultural Center on the 18th of November, 2 p.m. show. And the tickets are $11 in advance and $13 at the door. You know what we do. We bring emotion, excitement, energy, and passion. And we're excited always to do our shows here at the Winchester. It's a great venue, so bring your friends, and it is kid-friendly as well. So 2 o'clock, November 18th, Ronnie Foster Trio. Peace. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Carmichael, Senior Management Analyst for the Clark County Shooting Complex. The holidays are fast approaching, so a few things that I want to tell you about. We will be closed on Thanksgiving Day on Thursday, but we'll be open the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday following the holiday. This is a very busy time for us. If the weather's good, you can expect a lot of people to show up at the facility that weekend. The Learn to Shoot programs will still be in effect for Friday following Thanksgiving Day. Also, another thing that's coming up right away that we want to share with you, the new Wednesday night Winter Trap League has a new host, the Nevada State Trap Shooting Association. Most of the board members of this association reside here in Southern Nevada, and they're dedicated to putting on a great league for you. Their sole purpose is to promote trap shooting in the state of Nevada. Come on out and get involved, get your neighbors, business associates, friends. Come and join us in this new trap league on Wednesday night starting November 29th. The Las Vegas Trap Shooting Leagues in our valley has been here for 27 years. It is a tradition. Come out and be a part of it. The Clark County Shooting Complex, Nevada's only 5-star outdoor rated facility.
Hi everybody, I'm Martin Olson with the Nevada Department of Wildlife with an update for this month about hunting in Southern Nevada. Our waterfowl season's in full swing, and it runs to the end of January with a special youth hunt that is only offered February 10th and 11th. So don't forget that for the youth that you know or around your neighborhood or a friend or a relative. Now the best place in Southern Nevada is the Overton Wildlife Management Area. You'll need to make a reservation to hunt out there, which guarantees you one of the pre-set up blinds in the management area. To do that, you'll need to come to one of our locations in Las Vegas, either on Decatur and Vegas Drive, or in the Henderson area, Boulder Highway and Racetrack, or you can even go to the Overton Wildlife Management Area and make that reservation. Once you have a reservation, it guarantees you a spot to hunt there at the management area on that date. Then when you get there, you'll get to choose which blind that you want to try your luck at for waterfowl in Southern Nevada. So if you haven't got your hunter education, you can do so by signing up for a class here at the Clark County Shooting Complex through our website, ndow.org. Also starting next year, 2018, we're implementing a new simplified licensing system. And that licensing system will include all of your current stamps that you are purchasing extra right now, except the federal waterfowl stamp. You'll still need to purchase that. And you can do this one electronically, which is only good for 45 days until the physical stamp gets mailed to you. So we hope to see you out here at the shooting complex. We hope to see you out in southern Nevada hunting some of the waterfowl. Until next month, take care and good hunting.
Are you a fan of Sunset Park? Clark County Parks and Recreation wants you to volunteer for its new Sunset Stewards program aimed at improving the visitor experience. Volunteers accepted into the program would be asked to patrol the park for at least 4 hours each month, report problems, and interact with park patrons in a positive way in order to educate them about the wildlife and caring for the 323-acre regional facility. For more information, please call 702-455-8200 or email sunsetstewards@clarkcountynv.gov.
If you're wild about the Clark County Wetlands Park, you'll love the Wetlands Park Nature Center. Its exhibit gallery gives you a whole new perspective on this desert oasis located right in Clark County's backyard. The interactive displays, educational videos and activities, and hands-on exhibits are for kids of all ages. There's something for everyone at the Wetlands Park, indoors and outdoors, and it's all free. Visit today.
Hello, I'm Mark Hall Patton. I want to welcome you to the Clark County Museum. We're coming into the holiday season, and as you come out to the museum and go through the houses, you'll see that we actually decorate the houses to the different time periods of the houses. Now, this particular house is our railroad cottage. It was built between 1909 and 1911. So when you go inside here, you'll see that the kinds of decorations were much more minimal than what we might think of today. And you won't see any electric lights on the outside, anything like that, because those didn't exist at that point. So we don't show those on this house. If you come out to the museum during the holiday season, all the houses on Heritage Street will be decorated to the time period of the house. So each one will be decorated differently depending on what time period the house is representing. So let's take a walk inside and see what it looks like in 1910. So when you come inside the railroad cottage here, you'll see one, it's a fairly small house, but this was the first mass housing that was built in Las Vegas. This one was moved from downtown, from 3rd Street actually, and restored here and is on display. Now when you look at the decorations, you can see they do have a tree and a little bit of greenery here, and the man and woman of the house are in the back getting ready for a major meal, because of course that was one of the main things that you did for Christmas at the turn of the century in the 1910 period. Was there wasn't a lot of presents, but you would have a very large feast. That was a big deal. And so we have the porter and his wife. The porter here worked for the railroad, and his wife would have kept house. And you can see that they didn't have much, but this was very typical of the kinds of decoration that you would have seen at the time. Now, one thing I will tell you, a lot of people talk about the fact that on trees of this time period, you might have had candles, and that was used once in a while. But the thing about candles is you didn't have them lit every night, not like you would electric lights today. You would, if you had candles, you would put them on, and on Christmas Eve, you would send everybody out of the room, and you'd have a bucket of water and a bucket of sand right there. You'd light all the candles. Everybody would come into the room, ooh and ah about the tree, and then you'd blow them all out. Because even at the time, everybody understood the problems with fire, so you would not have them going all the time. So that's something that we never show out here, because fire's not our friend on site. But you'll be able to see this in all of the houses, different time periods. And I also want to welcome you, if you have the time, and invite you to come out. That's Friday and Saturday, the second Friday and Saturday of December. We will be open from 5 to 7:30 p.m. those nights. We will be free those nights. You'll save that onerous $2 entry fee, and you'll be able to see not just all the houses, but the exterior lights. We have strolling carolers, we have Santa here, we have free hot chocolate. There's a lot to see and do, crafts for the kids. So please come out. It is our Heritage Street holidays, and otherwise, at any point during the holidays, please come out and see the decorations and learn a little bit about the different kinds of celebrations that have been done over the years in Las Vegas, in Southern Nevada, in Clark County. This is Mark Hall Patton. Remember, we're only open 7 days a week. It is only $2 a head, and we're open from 9 to 4:30. So please come out and join us.
Hi, I'm Aurora Buffington, exercise physiologist and registered dietitian nutritionist here at the Hollywood Recreation Center. According to the 2017 Food and Health Survey, when consumers were given a choice of health benefits, the most desired benefit from their foods was weight loss. Food manufacturers know this, and they use several techniques to help lower the amount of calories in their products. One way food manufacturers lower calories is by changing the serving size of their products so they appear to have less calories. Take, for example, these Melba toast rounds. They look very similar, but they're actually quite different. One has half the calories as the other. A closer inspection of the serving size shows that one version has 50% less weight in their serving size than the other. So if you actually took the lower weight one and doubled the amount of Melba toast that you ate, it would be pretty much the same nutritional value as the other product. Sometimes the calorie difference between a sweetened version of the original appears minimal. Take, for example, these Cheerios versus the Honey Nut Cheerios. There's only a 10-calorie difference between the two. But wait, a closer inspection shows that the serving sizes are actually different. Although the weight's the same, the unsweetened variety has a 1-cup serving size, whereas the sweetened variety only has a 3/4 cup serving size. The bottom line is, when comparing calories, be sure to compare like-sized servings. Another way to lower calories is to substitute caloric ingredients with non-caloric ingredients. One might think that this drink is better because it doesn't have as many calories or sugar as others, such as soda. However, a close look at the ingredient list shows that artificial sweeteners were added. The addition of artificial sweeteners lets them use less sugar and lets them appear to be a healthier product. Light juice drinks are another gimmick to lower calories. Some of the juice is replaced with water and other ingredients. When you compare these two side by side, it's easy to see the difference in juice content and the addition of artificial sweeteners, and this is how they were able to lower the calories. The bottom line is to drink the real thing or cut it yourself by adding water to avoid those added unwanted ingredients. Finally, another way manufacturers make their foods look better is by using labeling terms like low, light, less, reduced, and free. These terms are regulated by the Food and Drug Administration to describe nutrient content such as fat, sugar, or calories. But while a sugar-free food may have no sugar, or a fat-free food may have no fat, it still may have just as many calories as its regular counterpart, with other ingredients added. Because when you take something out of a food, you have to add something else in to make it palatable. So don't be deceived by tricky nutrition labels. Focus on whole, nutritious foods most of the time, and include physical activity to help reinforce those healthy choices. At Clark County Parks and Recreation Facilities, it's easy to be physically active by taking fitness classes, participating in team sports, or working out in the fitness room. Well, that's all for now. I'm Aurora Buffington, encouraging you to move more and eat better by visiting a Clark County Parks and Recreation Center near you, where fitness happens.
I am here with my friend and fellow poet, Brittany Soul. The soul is for soul, of course. Brittany sings, Brittany does poetry, and if you happen to need a home, Brittany is also a realtor.
Absolutely. Call me.
So, Miss Brittany, you've got kind of, that's an interesting balance of careers, if you will.
It is. So, I like investing in people and helping them invest in themselves too. So,
wow, that's a straightforward vision, though. That makes everything make sense because it's different ways of investing. So, speaking of investing in themselves, I have a magical thing right here called Brittany Soul: The Key of Love. So you invested in yourself and made a book.
I did.
Talk to me about this.
Oh my, and I've been writing poetry since I was a little girl, but I became a spoken word artist later in life. There is a difference. The book actually, a lot of the poems were written for many, many years, but when it came to actually formatting and putting the book together in book form, so to speak, and publishing, which I did self-publish, that part took a lot of psychological brawn. Yeah, it did.
Warfare.
Self-talk, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'm super proud. I'm a brand new author. August 1st was my publish date.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yes, absolutely.
It's beautiful. I noticed in here there's places where it's kind of is like a workbook. So you have pages where, the poems ask you, questions.
Absolutely. I call it poetry, prose, and more, and I call what I add to it value pages. So there are some sections that I pose a question and I have a space for you to add your own wisdom and your own thoughts to kind of add value to the book. It's not a full-out journal, but there definitely are pages where people can reflect. Yeah. So, and I think it's important that we impress and express. So
I agree. So I need you to share your singing voice and your poetry with our audience. So would you be okay with that?
Let's do it.
Yay, thank you.
Let's do it. This piece is called My Stretch Marks Are Beautiful. Yes, that's the title. Some say you'll never see these on the covers of magazines like Cosmopolitan, 17, or maybe even Essence. Some say their only purpose is for credible evidence to inevitable life lessons, and some think them bruises, excuses of abuse, bad relationships, shoe prints, but my stretch marks are beautiful. And some say, see, what had happened was explaining gained or lost pounds of the combo or just combos off the $5 menu. Then you've got those that have had surgery in for places to look like top models who are really not models so other plastic bottles can befriend you. But see, me and my imperfections are beautiful. See, I happen to know a man who loves me for more than just my blush. But even if he didn't embrace my imperfections so much, I'm a moving masterpiece, mere strokes of God's brush, and I'm in tune with God's touch, and He designed me, He refines me, He reminds me I'm beautiful. So if they never see you on the covers of magazines like Cosmopolitan, 17, or maybe even Essence, I just may start a magazine for naturalists and send it to each and every one of them as a present, or a fashion show where character and virtue determine my selection. Every time I've checked reality, character was beautiful. Virtue, even the more. So if you never see me on the covers of, I want you to think two words when you think Brittany Soul. So what? Because I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Woo.
Thank you.
I love it. I love that you always have fun in your work.
Absolutely.
You take a moment and you might sing and hit a really beautiful note and then just kind of laugh directly following.
It's so my personality. I like to share my personality within my art because, that genuinity is important.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure. Yay! Absolutely. So if we want more information about you, we can go to www.brittanysoul.com.
Absolutely.
So check out Brittany, her music, her poetry, and more. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Hello, I'm Judge Frank Sullivan, and I'm here to make you an offer that you can't refuse. Do you have 10 or 20 hours a month to change the life of a child, to work directly with a foster child, get to know them, and speak on their behalf in court? Become a CASA volunteer. Why? By being a CASA volunteer, you give that child a voice in court. When you give them a voice, you give them hope. When you give them hope, you give them a future. Give a foster child a future. Be a CASA.
I am for the child who has been abused, the child who is afraid to go home,
who thinks it's her fault, who is forced to keep a secret or else.
I am for the child who has been neglected,
the child who does not know where his next meal is coming from,
who must fend for herself and her little sister alone. The child who has never been to a doctor or a dentist.
I am for the child who was taken away
for her own protection.
The child who is now in foster care, who does not know how long he'll be there,
or who these people are, or if she should trust them. I am for her.
The child who is in his 3rd,
4th, 5th,
6th foster home this year.
The child who has attended 4 schools in 2 years.
Who sits in back of yet another class surrounded by strangers.
Believing in his heart that no one
cares. I'm for her. The child who has never been told
that he is loved.
That she is smart, beautiful,
talented,
worthy. That she is strong,
courageous.
That she is somebody. I am for her.
The child who one day will turn 18 and will be surrendered to the world.
I am for that child.
So I am there for that child.
To listen to her.
To speak for her.
To champion without compromise for what's in his best interest.
Because if I am
there for her, I know she will be half as likely to languish in foster care. And that much more likely to find a safe, permanent home.
She is the child I am for.
He is the child I am for.
They are the children I am for. She is the child I am for.
The child I am for is him.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
I'm a CASA volunteer.
I am you.
Hi, I'm Frank Marino, Queen of the Las Vegas Strip, and you're watching CCTV for Clark County.
Hello, I'm Randy Swallow. Welcome to County Critters. Critters will showcase our animals and the men and women who selflessly dedicate and promote animal welfare in Southern Nevada. We've got a great and informative program. Later on, I'll give you the lowdown on pet vaccinations. We'll talk to Dr. Mark Primiano, a veterinarian from the Animal Foundation, and Clark County Animal Control Officer, Lieutenant Mike Felton. But first, we're going to introduce you to a life-saving nonprofit organization called Homeward Bound. Now, I am not exaggerating when I say these fine folks are saving lives. In fact, more than 4,000 cats have found new homes due to the efforts of this incredible team. Let's meet Homeward Bound's co-founder and president, Carol Fox.
We do all of our adoptions at PetSmart. We don't have a shelter. We have our cats in foster homes until they're here at PetSmart for adoption. So that is Cirrus. I've actually been doing this for about 20 years. I started in Portland, Oregon. And then I moved here in 2002 and volunteered for other groups for a while, and then wanted to make my own decisions about protocols and procedures. So a friend and I founded Homeward Bound Cat Adoptions in 2007.
give me some numbers. I've seen your website. It's impressive, the numbers of...
Yeah, we have adopted out, since that time, over 4,600 cats. She was part of a trap, neuter, return project. That's why her ear is tipped. We average, over the whole period of 10 years, we've averaged almost 40 cats a month adoption. We're down to one PetSmart location now. That's by choice, because it was spreading me too thin to have to manage more than 2 sites. And so now our numbers are down to about 30 adoptions a month. But I'm still pleased with that, because that's 1 cat a day, for the year that finds a home.
That's ultimately what it's all about, right?
Yes.
Tell me, I think I read there's usually 2 different ways that cats come to you. Tell me how these kittens typically do come to you.
Well, a number of the kittens come to us because we are cooperating with C5, the Clark County Community Cat Coalition, or the other way around, and Heaven Can Wait. And they operate the trap, neuter, return programs here in the county and are very successful at it. If a mama cat is trapped, the volunteers for C5, which is an all-volunteer group, will take the kittens into foster care and socialize them, if they can do that. If the kittens are socialized by the time they're old enough for spay-neuter, then they come to us for adoption. Rescuing a cat or kitten from the street is just the first step in rescuing that animal. The next step and final step has to be finding that pet a forever home. And so that was the role that we wanted to play. However, right now, our resources are so used up at times from dealing with the unwanted kittens that are born and finding homes for them. We don't have enough resources left to take in all the adult cats that are needing to be rehomed for some reason. And there are so many ways that cats find themselves homeless or about to be homeless. People have changes in their lives, financial situations, there's a death in the family, an elderly person becomes incapable of caring for their pet, and those are the people that we would really like to help, and the cats that we would really like to help. But it's very, very rewarding for us to do the kitten thing too. And whichever one we're doing, we feel like we're making a good contribution to the community.
There's no doubt you are. On the other end, the positive end of the spectrum, we see some people here that potentially might take some of these kittens home. Tell me then, on the other end, what you require from them and what type of great animal they're getting.
All of our kittens and adult cats are vaccinated, spayed and neutered, tested for feline leukemia and feline AIDS, and microchipped. We're going to sit over here and do an adoption. I'm going to let you sit here. We give people a coupon to take the cat for a post-adoption examination at our veterinarian. If there's anything that the cat needs at that free visit, we pay for it. So we want to make sure that the cat gets a healthy start in their new home.
I just think it's the right thing to do, is to adopt a cat that needs adopting. We told her basically what we were looking for. We were looking for a little girl, didn't mind what colour the cat was, so now we've got a little boy because the cats pick you rather than the other way around.
We will always take our cat back, and that's one of the things that states in our contract. But in my opinion, if they adopt a cat from us that's sick and needs veterinary care, they can return the cat to us if they want. But my preference is to pay for the treatment that cat needs, that wasn't their fault. It just happened as part of the process that the stressful process that these kittens and cats go through. This is very stressful for them. So I would rather help with the veterinary care of the cat until it's healthy in their home, and then after that it's their responsibility. We do have some criteria for our adoption process. We want to make sure that everyone who intends to adopt from us intends to keep the kitty indoors. We don't think it's safe for the cats to be on the street if they have a better option, and a better option is to be indoors in their home. So therefore we don't adopt to people who have dog doors that they can't live without, because it's hard to keep a cat in if the if there's a dog door, and some of these cats have been on the street, we don't want them back on the street. We are very anti-declawing. We think it's an inhumane practice for a number of reasons. And so if they want a declawed cat, we have declawed cats available, and we'll help them find a declawed pet. We have a few other things too. We don't adopt kittens that are less than 6 months old to families that have children less than 6 years old. And that's for the safety of the kitten as well as the safety of the child.
Some people, of course, maybe not everyone can take home a cat or something else. I know fostering volunteers or cash. I'm sure Homeward Bound, you're a 501c3. You're always looking for any of those types of situations?
Absolutely. We're always looking for foster homes. We're always looking for volunteers that want to volunteer for an extended period of time, because there is some training and learning involved. We get a lot of students that want to volunteer for short periods of time, and we appreciate that. But some of our volunteers, I have the best volunteers. They've been with me for years. They're reliable. They come every time. They organize replacements for themselves when they can't be here. But we can always use more volunteers like that want to really get involved. Cash helps. I've got a huge veterinary bill that we're working on, and our vet is so gracious about letting us carry a balance. Not all vets will do that.
And like any rescue organization, whether it's dogs, cats, iguanas, rabbits, you want to put yourself out of business as the ultimate goal, right?
Absolutely. My ultimate goal would be to put us out of business so that there are no more unwanted pets born, there are no more unwanted pets abandoned, and that there would be a resource for the people who have to give up their pet for some reason to be able to do that without feeling like they're in a bad situation. So I would love it. I'd love to retire.
Because the animal doesn't ask to be born, the animal doesn't ask to be mistreated, and all they want is a loving home, and we can provide a loving home for it.
For more information on how you can help Homeward Bound and their mission to rehome cats and kittens, visit www.homewardboundcats.org. Some sad news to tell you about the passing of a great leader in the local animal rescue world. Louise Sutherland, known to all as Lou, died recently. Lou was the president of the Southern Nevada Boston Terrier Rescue Organization. We were lucky enough to meet and interview Lou a couple years ago and learn more about her efforts to reunite and find homes for thousands of dogs. Her family estimates Lou fostered or adopted more than 100 Boston Terriers personally in her lifetime. They might call it puppy love, but it's not always so cute. Did you know that an unspayed dog, her mate, and all their puppies' puppies can produce 67,000 dogs in 6 years? Prevent a litter. Fix your critter.
The more pet-friendly our community becomes, the more important it is to make sure your pet is up to date on its vaccinations. Vaccines help prevent many contagious diseases that can be fatal for pets. Your dog or cat can be susceptible to diseases if it is outdoors at all, socializes with other animals, or travels with you. Annual rabies shots are required, but several other vaccines are strongly recommended within the first 6 to 8 weeks of your pet's life. Boosters are also needed. Don't wait. Talk to your vet today. Let's keep our pets safe, healthy, and happy.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to County Critters. The Animal Foundation is Clark County's best animal shelter. Many animals unfortunately arrive at the shelter not spayed or neutered, and a surprisingly large number of them also enter the shelter without vaccinations, which can cause widespread disease such as rabies. Dr. Mark Permiano explains.
I'm one of 7 full-time staff veterinarians at the Animal Foundation. We also do use local relief veterinarians as well. Our main job here is maintaining and taking care of the entire pet population that comes in, as well as performing spays, neuters, and occasional other procedures. We also have low-cost public spay-neuter for the general public if they're having some monetary issues with having their pet spayed or neutered, which is a requirement by Clark County, as well as we offer a low-cost vaccine clinic in the afternoons every day of the week to help make sure everything is vaccinated.
I think most pet owners are very responsible when it comes to spay and neutering their pets, but maybe they don't know or understand as much about vaccinations. Talk to me a little bit about vaccinations, what the rules and regulations are, first of all.
In Clark County, every adult animal, once it has reached age of vaccination, must be rabies vaccinated, which is because rabies is a tremendous public health risk, not just to animals, but to people as well. It's zoonotic disease, which means it can transfer between animals to humans. Rabies is fatal once it reaches final stage, both in animals and people, which is why it is legally required to have your pet vaccinated. There are other vaccines as well, which we call core vaccines, such as the DA2PP vaccine, which covers distemper, adenovirus, parainfluenza, and parvo, which aren't ones we have to worry about getting as people, which is why it's not a legally required one, but they are incredibly dangerous diseases, especially in the young. Like distemper in puppies has a 90% mortality rate. Parvo is about 50-50 with hospitalization now, but it's still one that can be very easily prevented with booster vaccines.
And any difference between what these little kitties need as opposed to puppies?
Cats also are required with rabies vaccine, and then other kitten core ones would be FVRCP, which covers stuff like coronavirus and calicivirus, which are nasty upper respiratory viruses. It can also cover panleukopenia, which is GI, gastric upset. And then if you're thinking about having your cat be an indoor-outdoor cat, feline leukemia virus would be another good call as well.
Obviously, vaccinating keeps you from your pet from spreading that disease, but then on the flip side, I presume that it would keep your pet healthier from contracting something as well.
Exactly. It's the same as it works with us, where you get the benefit of herd immunity, where if more are vaccinated, it's harder for anyone to get sick, like us with flu shots, as well as, yes, your pet, if it's vaccinated against distemper, there's a lot less likely of a chance that it's going to get distemper or feline leukemia.
Give me your personal and or professional opinion that if someone wants to adopt a puppy or a kitten or any other animal, where should they go? What should they do?
I would always recommend that you would go to the shelter, because we do have a massive pet overpopulation, not just in Clark County and Las Vegas itself, but as a nation, it's a pretty big thing. Coming here helps us eliminate that. You'll already have your pet spayed or neutered by us. It'll be microchipped, it'll be fully vaccinated, and most clinics in the valley offer a free first exam as a way to be like, hey, this is what we think is everything, as a kind of checks and balances thing, plus it helps build relationships with those clinics.
Talk about some of the negatives. I know we've seen some of the Craigslist. I don't want to pick on Craigslist, but people that are unscrupulous breeders. Talk about the dangers of perhaps getting an animal from one of those type of people as opposed to a shelter.
A lot of stuff with that. Then there are, of course, always scrupulous breeders out there. There are ones that are good. It's very hard to do research to determine on your own if it's going to be good or not. But one of the big dangers you have with going to, say, a breeder or a pet store as opposed to coming to the animal shelter is we have, like I said, there's 7 veterinarians on staff here. Every day, these animals are being looked at by trained professionals. We keep detailed medical records if something's gone wrong. We know what they've had, that they're vaccinated. Sometimes if you get someone who just gets into breeding as a hobby, there's a little less knowledge back there. You can get stuff like puppy mill situations happening where you just have overbreeding and inbreeding, and you can have congenital defects, just poor nutrition, poor care, and you might run the risk of spending a lot of money on an animal that's pretty unhealthy, and you'll have to go for follow-up care to spend even more.
Tell me why microchipping is vital also.
Microchipping is very important because while you might think your pet will never run away, accidents do happen. The microchip, unfortunately, it's not like a GPS, so it's not like you can type in to the internet and go, all right, where's my dog or cat? But any time that animal control picks it up, any animal hospital that a stray is brought to is going to scan. That microchip then has currently our information on it. When you adopt the pet or bring it in for microchipping, we give you the information and the website to go and change the information to say you. But say your dog gets picked up by ACO for roving, or your cat gets out, someone brings it to us, we scan it, we now know exactly who to contact to say, hey, your animal is here, it is with us, you don't have to go hunting, you don't have to put all that legwork in, it's found.
You do have a very specific mission here. Give it to me, Doctor.
Our Mission Possible 2020 is to save all healthy and treatable animals by the year 2020. And what that means is there's a set of accords that were set by the Humane Society of the U.S. and some other people got together and labeled out different conditions as healthy and treatable. And the goal is that anything that comes to us that is meeting those standards will be saved.
And of course, Clark County's animal control officers are usually the first to encounter cats and dogs without vaccinations, usually strays or abandoned animals. Lieutenant Mike Felton gives us some excellent information on vaccinations and the risk of buying pets online. Lieutenant, thank you so much for joining us. We hear so much about spay and neutering our pets that maybe sometimes vaccination gets forgotten about a little bit. What are the rules and regulations for vaccinating specifically dogs and cats in Clark County?
Well, any dog or cat or ferret over 4 months of age needs to be vaccinated against rabies. That's the only one. That's the only vaccination required by law. We would recommend vaccinations against distemper, parvo for your dogs, because those are very contagious and they can be very, very detrimental to the animal's health. But as far as the required by law, it's rabies.
So again, you have some recommended series of shots that you think people should they should get for their dogs or their cats?
Right. We would recommend vaccinations against the parvo virus, against distemper. You can get those at your vet. They vary in prices.
Obviously, that's one of the main benefits of especially a dog or a cat, is that you're protecting your animal and also protecting them from contagious disease that they could spread or contract, right?
Correct. And when you're taking your dog on a walk anywhere, I mean, just sniffing is the way distemper and parvo are transmitted. So just sniffing the ground, if they sniff something that had come in contact with the virus, it's very likely that they may catch it. And if they're not vaccinated, it's very difficult to treat.
Quite often, especially when it comes to spay and neutering, whether it's myth or not, sometimes people think their animal's personality changes. Is that come into play at all with vaccinations at all?
No, not with vaccinations. The vaccinations are just that. They're just vaccinations, just like you and I get a vaccination.
A little bit different topic, Lieutenant. Squatters. We've seen a number of squatters, people living illegally in houses. Many of them bring their animals, maybe dogs or cats, with them. Are you seeing an uptick in the number of animals, abandoned animals, in these houses?
What we see a lot are calls for abandonments, whether the people are at the residence legally or not. We don't really know that, but if they leave their animals behind, either by accident or design, we get calls for that, and we go and investigate, and if we have to, we would get a warrant to remove the animals.
So that's a procedure for animals like that. If someone thinks they have an abandoned house with animals in it next door, that's what they should do?
Correct. If you call us, we'll start the process of investigating to ensure that the animals truly are abandoned and not just being cared for during hours that people can't see. And because it's private property, before we would be able to go onto the property to remove the animals, we would have to get a warrant in most cases.
Lieutenant, maybe for some new people to Clark County, unlike many other places, jurisdictions, licensing of animals is not required in Clark County. So that makes microchipping even that much more important, doesn't it?
Yes, microchipping and having tags, collars with tags on. The more forms of identification you have on your animals, any pet that you have, the better off you are in case an unfortunate incident happens where your animal gets loose and ends up at the shelter or anywhere, it's a lot easier to reunite the owners with their animals if there's the more pieces of identification, the better. But the shelter scans for microchips. Every vet scans for microchips. We have microchip scanners in our trucks that we can use, and they can't be removed. If somebody finds your animal, they can remove a tag if they want to. You can't remove a microchip, and it's registered to you, and we would be able to know that.
If someone wants to buy a puppy or a kitty, obviously there's a lot of great animal shelters around, including the SPCA and our good friends in Henderson, but of course the lead animal shelter is the best. But should you give your personal and professional opinion why someone, if they want a puppy or a kitty, should go seek out an animal shelter first?
Well, you should always look to adopt instead of shopping for a pet. There's plenty of rescues and animal shelters if you don't want to use the lead. There's plenty of rescues out there, but the lead animal shelter, they have so many animals that are nice and looking for great homes. And yeah, any rescue group you can find, but the animal shelter is usually the best.
Is it illegal to sell? We hear so much about Craigslist sellers and backyard breeders. It's not illegal for me to sell my puppies, right? Or kittens to you?
Well, if you want to sell an animal, a puppy or a cat in Clark County, you have to have a fancier's permit and or a breeder's permit. And to do that, you have to have the permit number on any ad that you post, in any Craigslist ad, any ad in the paper, anything online. You have to have that permit number in order to legally sell an animal in dog or cat in Clark County.
Are there any, but we still hear about, some unscrupulous sellers of these animals that are obviously not adhering to those regulations, right?
Some. One thing you would want to look for if you're looking to buy an animal is ask for that permit number. If they give you the permit number, you can certainly call Animal Control and confirm that that's a valid permit and not one that's expired. You can also ask for veterinarian records of any of the animals that you're buying to ensure they're in good health, to ensure they're treated, and check for the age, check for the vaccination records, again, of the animals. You should be able to see the animal before you go to buy it.
And what are the fines? What are the regulations for people selling animals illegally without those permits?
Well, it would be a criminal misdemeanor citation, and we would go to court, and the fines would be set by the court. It varies. It's up to the judge.
And finally, we leave you with our Critters of the Month. RG Bobo, a feisty red Boston Terrier, and her sister Nala, a beautiful brown pit mix. These two are inseparable pals and provide love, laughs, and companionship to Trina DeBello and Dean Barros of Henderson. Nala is a rescue dog, a year old, and loves to exercise her teeth on many household items, including sprinkler heads and Trina's favorite shoes. RG Bobo is a year and a half, is the alpha pooch of the house, loves to navigate from the front seat during car rides, and goes by the nickname of Sir Lick-a-Lot. All four love the dog park, so that's where you'll often find Trina and Dean, Nala and RG. Well, that's our show. For more information about this program, or if you have a photogenic pet you'd like to see as Critter of the Month, send me an email. I'm at rsw@clarkcountynv.gov. On behalf of all of us here at Clark County Television, I'm Randy Swallow. We'll see you again next time here on County Critters.
Welcome to Club Ride. Club Ride is a free employee benefits program that encourages and rewards the employees that would like to or currently carpooling, walking, biking, taking transit, or even motorcycling to and from work.
Club Ride has excellent programs and services for commuters,
such as Guaranteed Ride Home, Club Ride Discounts, Easy Rider, and the monthly price drawings.
Club Ride Rewards is a program that rewards commuters every month for clean, green commutes to and from work. As a Club Ride member, you can win cash and prizes every month. It's a great thing.
Oh, we love winning the awards. We've been carpooling over 11 years now.
It
were doing it before it was the thing to do.
I think I'm a better driver.
No, I'm the better driver.
Carpooling was just kind of a natural thing. We could ride to work, we could talk to one another on our way, and saved us time and gas. But that extra prize makes it extra fun.
I was carpooling before it was cool, and before we got the Rockstar parking for carpooling. Club Ride has this really cool website. You go in and you log your trips each week, and it calculates for you how much money you've saved, how much of an impact you've had on the environment in terms of less emissions and so on. So I know for a fact I've saved $300 each year carpooling.
After 20 years of driving in Las Vegas traffic, I think I'd had enough and I was ready for a change. I currently commute by taking the new transit buses. There's a new park and ride in my neighborhood, so I just drive over there and hop on the bus.
I commute with this bad boy right here. My employer not only supports it, she lets me park my bicycle right in my closet at work. I love the Club Ride discount program because I get to use it at Jason's Deli, Cold Stone Creamery, and then I'm even able to use it at my bike shop, Bicycle World. I wish I would have learned about it earlier.
One of the great benefits for employers is the outreach that we do. We set up a table, we give away free t-shirts, we talk to them, we educate them about the program, and then of course the incentives that are available to them. Once employers realize what we do for them, they love it.
Club Ride is extremely successful at Bellagio. We've been a partner with Club Ride since 1999, and currently we have about 1,200 employees enrolled. We provide our employees with reserved parking, bike racks, motorcycle area, as well as pre-tax payroll deduction for the passes.
I think the Club Ride program is very well thought out, very well engineered. Cox is really committed to being a Club Ride partner. We have swipe machines at every entrance where employees can log their commutes. We also have bicycle racks. We have the ability for employees to work compressed work weeks and flexible schedules. And we have pool vehicles that are available for those employees that commute who need a vehicle to use to visit a customer or to go to another office.
Having a strong commute options program is really important to the city of Henderson. Currently we have over 400 of our employees that are enrolled in the Club Ride program. We have lots of prize winners every month, and I really make a big deal about it. I hand deliver all the prizes. They're just really excited, especially if one of the other employees sees that they're getting this prize. That kind of motivates them and they want to be part of that.
I'm Joan with Cox Communications. I'm proud to be a carpooler, and I think you should be too.
Less traffic and cleaner air, and that's a good thing.
Less traffic, cleaner air. Carpooling is a good thing.
I'm Joey over at the Rio, and I love being a Club Ride member.
I'm Bill with Cox Communications, and we're a proud partner with Club Ride.
Commute options are a good thing. Partner with Club Ride today.
To find out more, visit the Club Ride website.
Or call 228-RIDE or go to your HR office and speak to your transportation coordinator.
That's a wrap. That sounds good. That's a wrap.
Or can I do like Janis Joplin? That's all, folks.
Hi, I'm Clark County Commissioner Lawrence Weekly of District D. You're watching Clark County Television, Channel 4.
If you or someone you know has osteoporosis, you'll find today's program of special interest, so don't go away.
Sit and Be Fit is a tone and stretch exercise program designed to strengthen muscles and improve joint flexibility. Not all exercises are suitable for everyone. Consult your doctor before beginning this exercise program. Our instructions and advice are in no way intended as a substitute for medical counseling.
Hi, I'm Marianne Wilson. Thank you for joining us. The exercise program you are about to do is effective for any age, but it was specially designed for anyone needing slow, gentle movement. All you need is a chair that touches your back while your feet are flat on the floor. If your back is not touching, put something firm behind your back for that necessary support, like a pillow or blanket. Place your exercise towel and Dynaband on the back of your chair. Remember, you can substitute a hand towel or a bath towel for the exercise towel and Dynaband. Now, let's get ready for a great workout. Hi, thank you for joining us. If you have osteoporosis, you'll find the following information helpful.
Did you know that osteoporosis affects 25 million people in the United States? It's responsible for 1.5 million fractures. Osteoporosis is most often an age-related condition that drains the skeleton. Treatment is directed at diminishing bone loss and increasing bone mass. It's important to receive a one-on-one assessment from a physician or physical therapist. They can design a treatment and an exercise program that is specially tailored to your needs. The program I do is a general one. If you've had a fracture as a result of osteoporosis, you have different exercise requirements and limitations. Only a knowledgeable physician in conjunction with a physical therapist should prescribe exercise for you. But here are 3 important general guidelines for osteoporosis. Avoid forward flexion. Keep the body as upright as possible. And avoid bringing the knee to the chest, as it may compromise the ribs. For more information on support groups, research, and management skills, call the National Osteoporosis Foundation in Washington, D.C. at 1-800-223-9994. And now, let's get started with today's workout.
Let's start your first routine with good posture. Pull the abdominal muscles in. That naturally lifts up the rib cage. Now bring the shoulders back and relax them. Touch the chin. Pull the chin away from your hand. And now take a deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. Press your back to the chair. Pull your abdominal muscles nice and tight. Take another deep breath in. Let the belly expand. And slowly breathe out. Press the back into the chair. Pull the abdominals tight. And now relax. Let's do it again. Deep breath in. Let the chest expand. Let the belly come out. And breathe out. Press the back to the chair. Abdominals nice and tight. Can you do it one more time? Deep breath. Slowly breathe out. Now, touch the chin. Pull the chin away from your hand. Let's look over the shoulder. Look over the other shoulder. Now look at me and lift the shoulders up and down. Let's do it all again. Sit tall, look over the shoulder. And now the other shoulder. Now look at me, lift the shoulders up and down. Good job. Now, this is a very subtle movement. You're just pulling one shoulder forward, one shoulder back, and change. I want you to concentrate more on the shoulder pulling back. Let's change again. Pull it back. Sit nice and tall. And change one more time. Now we're going to lift the elbow. Lift and down. Lift and down. Good job. Now let's pull the elbow back. Pull. Release. Gentle pull. Feel that nice stretch right in the front of your shoulders. One more time. Now let's circle your wrists. Now lift them up. Now reverse that circle. And knock. Now let's stretch your fingers to the side. Stretch, stretch. Now to the other side. Stretch. Now let's wave the fingers in. And the other side. Get ready to tap one foot side to side. And change side to side. Now both feet together. Let's circle both feet together. Boy, what a mellow way to start a workout. Let's go on to your second warm-up. So check that posture. Abdominals in, nice and tight. Rib cage up. Remember, don't forget to touch the chin. and pull the chin away. All right, let's make a circle with your nose. Make it slow from one side all the way up. Remember, don't hyperextend the neck. A full circle, and then reverse that circle. Now look straight ahead. Let's get the neck in alignment again. Touch the chin, pull it back. Look over the shoulder. Look over the other shoulder. And look straight ahead. Can you drop your ear? Now bring the head up. Drop the ear to the other shoulder. Feel that nice stretch right here. Now bring the head up. Let's lift your shoulder up and down. Lift and down. Lift, down, lift. Now roll the shoulder all the way back. Let's do a shoulder lift again. Lift and down. Lift. Now the other shoulder. Lift. Now can you roll it back? I want you to emphasize pulling back as much as possible. Remember, stay in your comfort range. Now sit nice and tall. I want you to swing the arms forward and back, just as though you were out walking. Forward and back, nice and tall. Smell that air. Big breath. Rib cage up. Now here's a change coming up. You're going to reach back and reach forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now take the arms and circle them up and around. Circle them to the other side. And now we're going to circle your ankle. Make it very slow. 2, 3, 4. Can you reverse it? Make it a big circle. Lead with your toes. Let's change legs. Circle. 3, 4. Let's reverse it. Now get ready to tap that foot fast. Here we go. Now touch it forward, forward, and back. Forward, let's do it again. Tap. Touch it forward and back. Can you change legs? Tap. Touch it forward and back. One more set now. Touch it forward and back. Ready for calf stretch. This is just going to be a very fast stretch. Let it down. Really just extending the leg. Not really enough time to stretch it out. We're coming up to a nice calf stretch here. Now sit nice and tall. Extend your leg. Pull the toes back and turn the foot side to side. Bring the leg down. Let's do it on the other leg. Feel that nice stretch when you pull the toes back. Take the foot side to side. Now we have time for one more stretch on each side. Pull the toes back and point. The other leg, pull back and point. Let's take this leg from side to side. Reach with the arms. Sit up nice and tall. The other leg, side to side. Okay, let's change again. Here we go. Side to center. Take it side and center. Let's change again. Side to center. One more time. Okay, sit tall and touch your shoulder. You're going to lift that elbow with the other hand and then slowly let it down. Can you do it again? Lift within your comfort range. Now this time lift it up and let that elbow go into a circle all the way back. Let's change. Touch the shoulder. Lift with your hand. Easy. Let it down. Do it again. And can you do it one more time and let the elbow go all the way back? Oh, good job. Now, circle the shoulders. We're going to do what I call a rib lift. Let's get set up here. You're going to touch the collarbone and this collarbone. Now bring the hand behind and behind. Now I want you to take a deep breath in, lift up your rib cage, bring your elbows back and squeeze the shoulder blades. Release, reach up with one hand and reach up with the other hand. Okay, can you do it all again? Here we go. Touch in front first. Now, touch the back of your neck. I want you to take a nice deep breath, lifting the rib cage, squeezing the shoulder blades, elbows back. Now, if you can, reach up, then touch the back. Reach up, touch the back. Bring the arms down, roll the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, before we get into our circulation song, let's just stretch out those back muscles. Rest that arm just as though you're cradling a baby. Now these fingers are going to just gently pull the elbow. Can you feel that stretch in the back? Okay, let's change. Rest this hand, this arm, and with this hand, very gently, pull the elbow. Oh, that feels great. Okay, now you're ready. Tap the toes side to side. Snap the fingers, if you can, side to side. Now, tap the heels side to side. We're going to lift the heel twice. Lift, lift, change. Lift, lift, change again. Lift, lift, change again. Lift, lift, shoulder roll, forward, up, pull back. Again. Forward, up, pull it back. Let's do two more. Lift that shoulder, pull it all the way back. Last one. Now we're going to do some elbow extensions. This is for your tricep muscle. Press out. Now the side. Get ready to kick one leg forward. Here we go. Kick, step, kick, and step. Now roll the shoulders. One shoulder at a time. Take your time. Get ready to kick the other leg. Kick and step. Kick and step. Keep going. You're doing super. Ready to roll those shoulders all the way back. Get ready for a spine stretch here. Reach up, down. Now give a good stretch. Rotate the palms forward and back. Let's change. Do it again. Reach up, reach down. Fully extend that spine and rotate the palms forward and back. Now let's bring the elbows gently back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Bring it back again and squeeze. Now bring it waist level. Very gently squeeze. Okay, here comes that rib lift again. Take a nice deep breath. Let's start with the hands right back here, right behind the neck. Now deep breath, lift the rib cage. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Reach and reach. Now relax. Let's roll those shoulders. I want you to look right and left. Okay, can you do it again? Bring the hands right here behind the neck. Take a nice deep breath. Lift that rib cage. Elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Let's just lift one arm at a time. Good job. Let those arms down and slowly look over the shoulder. Slowly to the other shoulder and release it. Now let's do that same stretch that we ended the other routine with. Turning and releasing. But let's take it a step further. Put that hand on your shoulder and walk the fingers back. Grasp this shoulder and release the scapula as you turn. And change. Place the arm and very gently lead that elbow around. And release. Now place the hand right here on your shoulder. Walk the fingers all the way back. Grasp your shoulder and release. And relax now. Interlace your fingers as best you can and stretch all the way up. Relax your elbows. Press side to side. Bring it down. Now we're going to circle the legs. Out and around. Out. Let's change legs. Circle out and around. Out and around. Take a nice deep breath. Sweep up. And come down. Good job. It's time to pay special attention to the finger joints. Remember, if you have arthritis, pace the number of repetitions that you do and stay in your comfort range. Your palms are up. You're going to close the fingers and then open just like a flower. Here we go. Now relax. Open, close, stretch out like a flower, and relax. Let's wiggle out the fingers. Get ready to bring the thumb up twice, then circle. Up, up. Let's circle the thumb. Now the index fingers up and down. Lift and down. Circle them. Ready for the next finger? Lift and down. Lift, down, circle. How about the ring fingers? Up and down. Lift up and down, circle. Now for the little fingers. This is the hardest one of all. Now circle it out. Get ready for a wrist circle. Circle once, palms up, circle again. Palms up, get ready to press that hand to the thigh. Lift, hold, and press, hold. Now lift twice, up and up. Can you do it again? Lift it up and hold. Press and hold. Lift twice, up and down. Get ready to change hands. Lift, hold, press and hold. Lift twice, up and down. One more set here. Lift, hold, press, and hold. Lift twice. Now get ready to rotate the palms. Take your time. A little downtime here. Now, get your wrists together and let's clap them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now tap the fingers. 1, 2, 3. Now circle, circle, circle. Here's a change. Circle, open, tap it twice. Circle, open, tap it twice. Circle, open, tap it twice. Circle and open, tap twice. Now make a claw. Can you do a few more? Only the end joints are working here. Last one. One more. Okay, now you're going to press the hand and the fingers to one side. Can you feel that stretch in the fingers? Let's change. Press and press. Should feel good. Okay, now make your fists, turn them down and up. Down and up. One more. Down, up. Now lift. Good job. Super. It's time to get out of your chair for leg strengthening and stretching exercises. Stand directly behind your chair and place your hand on the center of the chair to use it for balance. It's important to start your standing exercises with good posture, so just tilt the tailbone under and tighten these abdominal muscles. Now lift up that rib cage and bring your shoulders back and relax them. Touch the chin, pull it back. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend. Now rest your toe. Take the knee out and in. Out and in. Out and in. Let's change legs. The toe is just gently resting on the floor, and you can feel this right in your hip. It's nourishing the hip. Bring your feet together and bend. 1, straighten. 2, and straighten. 3, and straighten. One more. Now a toe stomp. Heel stomp. Get ready to change legs. Toe stomp. It's a very gentle stomp. Heel stomp. Now get ready to twist the toe side to side. Now the heel goes down and up, down and up. Do it again. You're pressing across the toes. Now the heel down and up, down and up. Let's change. Twist. Bending across the toes. Now the heel down and up, down and up. One more set. Ready for the heels? Down and up. Get ready for a change. Here we go. It's bend, extend, pulse. Pulse again. Bend your knee, extend your leg, and pulse twice. Change legs. Bend and extend. Pulse. One more. Bend, extend, pulse. Now this is a quick change. Same leg. Up and down. Lift and down. Change legs. Lift and down. Lift. Change again. Lift and down. Lift. Here's your last change for this one. Lift and down. Now we're going to go to the hamstring lift. Here we go. Lift and down. Lift. Two more. Lift and down. Lift. Let's change legs. Lift and down. Squeeze these hamstring muscles. Now here comes your change. You're going to squeeze back. Release, bend, and extend. Squeeze it back. Release, bend, extend. Squeeze it back. Bend and extend. Change. Squeeze it back. Release. Bend your knee. Extend the leg. Squeeze. Release. Bend. Extend. Can you do one more? Squeeze it back. Release. Bend and extend. Now let's go to the upper body. Get the body in good alignment first though. Tailbone's tucked. Rib cage up. Chin is back. Get ready to press back with your hands. Press. Release. Now I want you to feel how far back those hands should go. For everyone this will be different. Now we're going to rotate. Palms out and in. Again. Palms out and in. Now I want you to take the arms out and rotate the palms back. And release. Again. Rotate. And release. Now bring those hands right back here. Take a nice deep breath. Bring the hands up to the small of the waist. Lift the heel and turn. Come back to center. Let the hands down. Relax the shoulders. Let's do it again. Hands right up here to the small of the back. Lift. Remember, lifting that heel is really important. Now let's get into your calf stretch position. Your right foot is forward, left foot is back. The knee is right over the ankle and your toes are pointed forward. You're feeling that stretch right back here in the calf muscle. Lift up just once and press down. Let's change legs. Calf stretch. Check out your posture. Knee over the ankle, toes forward. Now keep the abdominals in, your rib cage is up, chin is lifted. Can you feel the stretch back here? Now lift once and press down. Feel that stretch engage. Now we're going to stretch the soleus muscle. Sink down. Can you feel it right here? And release. Let's change. Sink straight down. Feel that right in the back leg, right in the back of the heel there. Now, let's do the hamstring group. Heel is resting. I want you to bend from your hip. Keep your back nice and straight. Feel the stretch right here. And now release it. Take a nice deep breath. Reach from the hip, not the waist. Keep your chin up. And release. Let's change. Heel is resting. Reach with those hips. And release. Again, deep breath. And release. Let's finish up your stretching right in the chair. Now we'll do that calf stretch and hamstring stretch again. Extend your leg. Pull the toes back. Feel that stretch right here? Let's do it again on this leg. Extend. Pull the toes back. Feel it right here. And release. Let's do it again. Pull back. Now point and flex. One more. Extend. Pull the toes back. Nice stretch here. And point and flex. Now sit up nice and tall. Hand right here and here. Pull those shoulders back. Squeeze. Release. Thank you so much for being here. Keep reaching out for a better day.
For your copy of the Sit and Be Fit newsletter and information on Sit and Be Fit video and audio tapes, write Sit and Be Fit, Post Office Box 8033, Spokane, Washington, 99203-0033, or call area code 509-448-9438.
Clark County parks are family-friendly places to have fun doing a wide variety of activities. As such, possession and consumption of alcohol without a use permit is prohibited. Remember, no alcohol in any county park without a permit. Just a friendly reminder from your Clark County Park Police.
When a family is in a time of crisis, you can help by fostering a child. If you are ready to make this commitment, call 455-0181 for more information. Become a foster parent.
The Clark County Fire Department responds to thousands of calls for help each year. The key to saving lives in any emergency situation is education. That's why the Fire Department teams up with its community partners to host open houses at different fire stations. Our open houses are held on Saturdays every other month. We invite you and your family to visit our fire stations, meet our firefighters who serve you, and learn how to stay safe and healthy. For more information, visit Clark County's website.
I am for the child who's had 7 addresses in a single year because she's in foster care, because her father abused her, and her mother couldn't believe her. She is the child I am for. I am a CASA volunteer. I am you.
McCarran International Airport has a new system that makes paying for parking faster and more convenient. It's called Express Exit. The process is simple. Get a ticket, then choose your parking space and enjoy your trip. Just remember to take your Express Exit ticket with you and keep it in a safe place. When you return from your trip, Express Exit makes getting out of the parking lot fast and easy. If you got an Express Exit ticket when you entered, you have 2 options. For the most convenient way, use a pay station to pay before you get in your car. All you need is your Express Exit ticket. The machines will guide you through the process step by step. Choose a language and complete your transaction with cash or credit card. If you need assistance with the Express Exit pay station, simply pick up the courtesy phone. If you forgot to use a pay station, you can still pay at the parking lot exit. With your Express Exit ticket and your credit card, you can use a self-service Express Exit lane. If you're paying with cash, you'll need to see a friendly parking booth attendant. But remember, the quickest way is to use a pay station. Just don't leave your ticket in your car. Express Exit is now available at all airport parking areas except valet. Express Exit. Park, pay, and drive away. For more information, log on to mccarran.com or call 702-261-5122.
Hi, I'm Judy Shepard-Missett, founder and CEO of Jazzercise, and welcome to Jazz Cardio Strength Stretch, a 30-minute total body workout that will tighten and tone your body. Get your heart pumping and burn mega calories in our cardio section, and then sculpt and lengthen your muscles in the strength and stretch routines. Now today, I'll be joined by Shanna Missett Nelson, Jazzercise Executive Vice President, Rich Mundy, Jazzercise Instructor and District Manager, Michelle Short and Antonia Roots, Certified Jazzercise Instructors. Grab a set of handheld weights, water, and your workout towel, and let's get started. Okay, let's start marching. It's time to warm up. Get that blood rolling. Now you gotta pick up those feet, get those knees up, swing those arms, put a smile on your face. Let's walk 2 back, 2 out, and do it again. 2 back, and 2 out, and again. It's back, it's front, it's out, it's in, it's back. I've got Michelle and Shanna with me. All right, now we're going to do a little circle with the right foot and circle with the left. There it is. And go back and out and circle and circle. circle, skim low to the floor. Use your hips. Circle, and it's back. It's out. And circle. Yeah. Okay, this is get the blood rolling here. Keep coming. And now circle. Use those hips low to the floor. Don't let your leg lift too high. And do it again. Around and around. Okay, now feet together. Head goes to the right. 8 times. Warming up the neck. Now the shoulder goes forward for 8. That's it. Now we got the ribs. Reach in. Reach. 5, 6, 7. Now the hips are going hip. Right here. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the knee. Turn out from the hip socket. There you go. Tighten those abs. Now we got the foot moving. So we've warmed up the right side of the body. So let's do the left side. Over we go. And go. 5, 6, 7, 8. And shoulders. Hit it. 5, 6, 7. Now the ribs are reaching over there. Pull. Isolate the ribs from the hips. Okay, now that's the hip turn. There it is. Hip. 5, 6, 7. Now we got the knee going on. Out. 5. Again, turn out from the hip. Okay, down to the foot. Out. Reach that baby way out there. You got it. Okay, now a little stretch. Knee goes 3 times. Hold it. Now lean back. Stretch that right quad. Left side. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Now lean back. Hip flexor. Quad. And we're going to go side. 2, 3. Hold it. Stretch that hamstring. Bring it up. Over. 2. And hold it. And stretch. Now let's start. Right side again. From the foot. Working our way up the body. 6, 7, 8. And the hip. From the hip. The knee is going. Turn it out. 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. Up. Right there. Tighten those abs. Use your oblique muscles. Right there. And reach. Separate the ribs again from the hips. Okay, here we go. Shoulders moving. Oh, yeah. 5, 6, 7. Now the head is going over and over and over and over. 5, 6. Let's go. Left foot. Okay, we're coming back up that body. 5, 6. Reach it out and turn it out. You might even feel a little stretch in the inside thigh. 7, 8. The hip is going. Whoop. There it is. Feel that hip bone moving. Okay, ribs, reach. 5, 6, 7. And we got the shoulder going on. Hup. Yeah. 5, 6, 7. Okay, now the head moves left, stretching the right side of the neck. Okay, we're almost done, kids. Let's walk it back. Take it out. Now circle the foot just like we did in the beginning. And it whooshes around there. And it's back. And it's out. And it's whoa. Yeah. Let's walk back. And out. Hold it. Smile.
All right, we're going to start with a little Latin walk. Wake up your hips. Little walk. Nice and easy. Just in place. Come on, here we go. Now feet together. You're going to take the shoulders down and then pull them back. Take them down to the floor. Pull it up. Forward, back, forward. Now triplet, right, left. No turn out. Now you're going to turn it out right and left. Make sure you're forward. And then you turn the body right, left. Forward triplet. And turn it out. There you go. Nice and easy. Here we go. Keep going. Come on. Lift with the hip. And then turn it out. And again, nice. Looks good. Come on, and lift. Turn out. And again, one more. We're gonna walk for 3 to the right. Now here's with a hip push, right. Then step, push left. Come on, get into it. Abs are in tight. Lean away, push into the hip. And again. And now this time comes the booty push. Turn the body, push back. Think squeeze with the triceps. Push into that booty. There you go. Nice and easy. Keep going. 2 more. Now back to the Latin walks. 4 up, 4 back. Now feet together, shoulders go forward, pull back. Front, back. Walk it. And back. And front. And again, come on, here we go. Wake it up. Are they awake? Oh yeah. Pick it down. And up. 4 up. 4 back. And shoulders. Abs in. Pull back. Come on, you gotta think working your back muscles. And back. And front. Roll it. Forward. Keep going. Oh yeah, it doesn't stop. And again. Bring it up. Back. 2 shoulders forward. Triplet. Lift tall. Turn it out. Face front. Come on, think lift. Turn. Are you pumping the arms? Keep them moving. Pull it back. Pull back. Forward. Pull back. Keep going. Almost there. And up. Couple more. Forward. And turn. Turn. Forward. And turn. Walk it right. Hip push. Left. Hip push. Push. Come on, pick up your feet. Pick them up. Push. Push. Last time. We're going to keep walking. Booty push back. Push. You got to pivot, ball to your feet. Turn. And turn. One more, both sides. Last one. And hold it.
Two things you want to remember with this routine. The first is, on this walk, it's a powerful muscle movement. So push in through the heel, flat foot, squeezing your core. Second thing you want to remember is on this arm movement, not only is it for your upper body, but for your core, you want to keep your hand flexed to protect the shoulder. All right, toes and knees forward. I want you to get into a low plie right here. Pull those abs in nice and tight. Retract those shoulder blades back. Now right here, how about give a little pulse? Push down, down. Keep going, push, push. All your weight's in those heels. All right, now step tap side to side, right and left. It's right and left. Staying in that plie, picking up your whole leg. Now practice this with me. Walk right, left. It's right, left. So you want to push all your weight into each foot. Squeeze those obliques, those abdominals right here. Push. Think right and left. Lots of muscle. 4 more. Now you're going to take off. 2 walks to the right, nice and low. 2 left. Do that again. Now we're going to lunge it. 2 down, 2 up. It's down, pull it up, and down. And up. You lower with the legs, not the upper body. Walk it to the right. 2 walks. Left side. And again. Now back to that lunge. Down and up. It's up. All right, how about 4 quick heel touches front. Now walk right and left. Push into it. Push. 4 heels. And you want to keep those heels right in front of your body. 1 more. Now upper body, right arm comes across. Rotate, lift it up. Keep that arm slightly bent. Flex the hand. Tighten your core. Squeeze it. Rotate. 2 more. 1 more. Back to that walk. Let's go. Walk it right. Left side. Now lunge it. 2 down, 2 up. Pull it up. Use those quads. Big muscles. Get that heart rate up. Walk right. Let's go. Left side. And again. Lunge it. Down, up. All right, here we go. 4 quick heels, right, left. Step, walk, push, right, left. Keep going. Remember, big moves, muscle. Right arm, take it across. Let's go. Rotate, squeeze and lift. Tighten through that core. It'll work for you. One more. Walk right, let's go. Left side. And again. Lunge it, down, up. Pull it up, come on. Major muscles are what get that heart rate up, burn that fat. Walk it right. And tap. Left side. Lunge it, down and up. 2 more lunges. All right, 4 quick heels, let's go for it. Come on, step, push, right, left, and again. Tall bodies, pull up and out of that rib cage. One more. Back to that arm, take it across, squeeze that core. Lift it up. Come on, tighten it, squeeze. 2 more. Here we go. Walk right, let's go. Hup. Left side. Lunge it, down and up. Walk right, let's do it. Left side. Down and up, lunge it, pull it. 4 heels, here it is. Walk it right, left, come on, push, push, don't give up now. 2 more. Right arm across, ready, hold it.
Restart.
Okay, you want to bend those knees and get low. Give me a little releve with your heels. Tighten that core. Now, 2 step jumps, then 4 little chugs. To the left, 4 little chugs. Now remember, you got to stay low on those chugs. Stay in plie. Left side. Now, right in the center, give me a little double shoulder and double jab. Double shoulder and jab. So think up and down using those trap muscles. And again, up and jab. Now this time we're going to give it a hook. So out, in, and come a little closer each time and stop that movement halfway between. So stop, 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 stop. You're going to use more muscle that way. Now back to the jab, double jab. Good. Are you feeling it? And jab, and jab. You look great. Keep going. One more. Right now the music's going to tell us time for the step jump. And stay low, chug. To the left. Stay low and chug. Now I'm kind of leaning back a little bit on that, so you want to tighten your core. Left, right. And again, keep going. This is going to pump that heart and burn those calories. And again. Last one. All right, let's go back to those shoulders. Pick them up. And jab. Now remember, guys, the only reason why your arms are moving is because you're lifting your shoulders. So think about that movement initiating from your shoulder. All right, ready for that hook? Ha, ha. A lot of core muscle to stop that motion. 2, stop, stop. One more. All right, let's do that step jump. Little chug. How we doing, guys? Little chug. Come on, I want you to maximize your move. Pump those arms. I mean, I think you want to burn the most calories, right? To the left. Stay low. One more. All right, now take a little break. Give me some core. Shh. Now arms out. Slide your ribs back and forth. Take them out.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. You didn't go anywhere, did you? Take it side. Come on, think rib cage, ribs. You're tightening those core muscles, getting those abdominals nice and flat. Back to the shoulder. Double jab. How'd you do? Double jab. Looking good. Is your heart pumping? Are you working hard? Yes. All right, let's get ready for that hook. Hook it up. Ha, ha. Stop with your core. Restart. You know, do this workout is a good way to restart your body. That's it. Step jump. And chug. To the left. And chug. Good. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. So notice the big level change. You're low. Now pop up. Pop up. Let's see some air between your feet and the floor. And again. Last one. All right, back to the shoulders. Double jab. And again, come on, use those arms. So you don't even have to move your legs to keep that heart rate up. Good. All right, ready for the hook. Hook it around, go out, closer, out, closer. 2 up. All right, we're in the home stretch. One more. The one shoulder and hold. Yeah.
With this routine, we do heel hops right here. You want to keep your posture nice and tall during the heel hops, and then when we transition to the taps to the side, make sure you keep that same tall posture. All right, find your feet. You're going to give me a skip, right and left. And when you skip, you really want to propel those legs up there, pull the elbows back. It's like what we like to call a power skip. So keep it going. All right, get ready. You're going to give me a double heel hop, 2 right. So 2 on the right, now 2 left. Do that again. Now you're going to tap the legs out to the side. 2 right, 2 left. Nice and tall, tight abdominals, tight through your core. Back to those heels. Double right, double left. And right. Let's go to that hop touch out to the side. Left side, tap, pull it in. Strong legs, 3. Come on. Do it again. Double heel. You want to squeeze those quads. Tap it out, right leg, squeeze, pull it in. Left side. 2 more. Double heel again. Pull it in. All right, right leg going out. And left. All right, we're going to do it one more time. Double heel. And left. 2 taps out. Left side. All right, something different's coming up. Stay tall. 4 chassés to the right. Right leg, get low. Tap it out to the side. Now push up, tall chassé. Get it low. Extend that leg out. It's up. And low. Lower through those legs. And tap. Go again. Remember, tall posture. Abs are tight. Reach it. And when the leg goes out, point your toes. Squeeze that quad. Think stretch your body. 2 more. How about 1 more? Double heel, let's go. Left side. And again. Back to the tap. Tap it out. And left. Squeeze it in. Double heel. Pull tight. And again. Touch it out. All right, just a couple more. Come on, pull it up. Think, arms, pull and push. Use that resistance. 2 touches. We're getting there. Double heel. We're working now. 2 touches. All right, double heel. Out to the side. Come on, we can do it. We're so close. All right, heels. Left side. Give me 2 more. 1 more. Hold it there.
Okay, we have a slight bend in our knees, and the pectorals are coming across and pulling back. Good. Strengthening the chest. Alternating those hands in front. Palms face forward. We're going to lift in 3. It's right, left, and hold. Then left, right, and hold. Good. Very important you freeze that lift so we isolate that trap muscle. Always want to improve our posture. Hold it. Good. Lift, lift, hold. Push and pull. Good. Keep it going. Good. It's right, left, hold it. Make sure you push down with the same force you're pushing up. 1 more each side. We're lunging it to the right. We're going to bicep curl, then tricep lift. Good. Biceps, work the triceps, and we're also squeezing those shoulder blades together to work those rhomboids. All right, gang. Face front to the pectorals. It's across. Pull it back. Looking good. Don't forget to alternate those hands in front. Abs in. Always want to make sure that core is nice and stable to protect the lower back. Here we go. Trap lift. Sits right, left, and hold it. Awesome. Keep it going. Good. 1, 2, freeze. It's right, left, hold it. Remember, gang, push and pull. Ha. Keep it going. Good. You should start to be feeling this right there between the neck and the shoulder. It's working. They call them our traps because that's where we trap all of our stress. Lunge it left, gang. Bicep curl. Good. Triceps and rhomboids. Curl it. Keep those elbows close to the body. Keep it going. 1 more time. All right, to the pectorals across. Pull it back. And again. All right, don't stop. Squeeze those pectorals together. Nice and strong. Pull. Little break. Tilt from the hip. And we have a delt lift. Good. Keep that arm at 90 degrees. Palm is facing back. I want you to lift up and push down. Good. Once again, working the posture. Come on up. Trap lift. Single, single. Hold it. Nice. Almost there. Keep breathing. Lift, lift. Hold it. Those arms should be burning. Come on. Woo. Good. Push and pull. 1, 2, hold it. Very good. Pectorals to the end. It's across. Pull it back. Squeeze those rhomboids. Keep that belly button tucked into the spine. Good. 1 in the front and hold it. Great job.
All right, let's have a great stretch right here. Nice long lunge. And stretch it over to the side. Reach way out your fingertips. Now come on back and do a deeper lunge, stretching that left quad, whatever feels good for you. And into a plank, a nice flat body. Tighten those abs. Now lift it up and lower. So you pike up and you plank down. 1 and 2. 1. Okay, now left foot forward. Hold into that nice lunge. And stretch it over. Reach out those fingertips. And to the center, bring it forward. And let's do that again. Lunge here. And side stretch. Reach. Take big breaths of oxygen while you're doing this. Come into a deeper lunge and hold. And bring it into the plank position, tightening those abdominals. Now let's pike it up, lift the derriere, not too high, and back to a flat body. Lift, tighten, lift, tighten, lift. Now, bring that left foot forward, hold in that nice deep stretch, and side stretch over. Now back into a lunge, left foot forward, hold it, bring it together, take a big breath of oxygen. You did a great job.
Great job. I hope you enjoyed this workout as much as we did and that you continue to include Jazz Cardio Strength Stretch as part of your healthy lifestyle program. Now, we recommend you perform this workout 3 to 5 times a week in order to see very great positive results. Do this consistently and you will be dancing down the road to success.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes. And stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit weather.com/ready and let the Weather Channel help you prepare your family for emergencies.
The Vegas Strong Resiliency Center is a safe haven, a place for residents, visitors, and responders affected by the tragic events of the 1 October shooting incident. Staffed with compassionate professionals, services include victim advocacy and support, counseling referrals, and help accessing the FBI's Victim Assistance Services website. The center is located at 1524 Pinto Lane. It's open weekdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 702-455-AID or 1-833-2998.
Clark County parks are family-friendly places to have fun doing a wide variety of activities. As such, possession and consumption of alcohol without a use permit is prohibited. Remember, no alcohol in any county park without a permit. Just a friendly reminder from your Clark County Park Police.
Filipino food has always been a complete mystery to me. No clue what it's all about. Until today. And what's the answer? Get yourself invited to somebody's house where they got tons of food. It's going to be delicious. I'm out of paper towel. Look at that. You can make it. Who doesn't want that? Because I don't know anything about Filipino food, I got myself invited over to the Ramirez house. And the lovely sisters, not, what was your family name growing up?
Flores.
Flores, the lovely Flores sisters. I can do this. Angie, Sita, Marilyn, and Ikao.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
Christine.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll do it again. Here, we'll go one at a time.
Okay.
I'm Sam.
Angie, Sita, Christine, Marilyn.
Or Ikao.
Or Ikao.
You guys made all this?
We did. We did, except the dessert.
Not enough time. Apparently
Not enough
having
time.
Sam, the cooking guy, come to your home and spend a lot of time and bring cameras and put you on TV is not important enough. Just out of curiosity, what occasion would you make the desserts for?
Birthdays and fiesta.
So I'm less important than a birthday and way less important than a fiesta. Where would the obvious place to start be? Because I don't know what that is.
Filipinos start everywhere.
Let's go noodles first.
Okay.
What are these?
Okay. That's the rice noodles with
Yeah.
shrimp, pork, cabbage, celery, and carrots.
Who made this one?
I did. And
Oh, it's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody made some things, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, what is that? Did you see that?
Yeah,
okay, next pancit.
Pancit malabon. It's thicker noodles. It's got sauté shrimp and the garlic.
This
Mix
one.
them all together and put some chopped eggs.
There's a taste in here that I don't recognize.
Brown fried pork rinds.
Really powdered.
Powdered, right.
Like chicharrones?
Chicharrones, right.
Ground up?
Right, yeah.
And that's a Filipino thing? Next.
Who
Who made that?
I did.
Again. Look at, she made two things now.
Yeah. She made a lot.
She did make a lot.
It's her house. Yeah.
Slowly cooked, soy, vinegar.
With rice, steam rice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Steam rice.
just a little. Okay,
Kare. That's tripe.
okay, I'm not eating tripe. But in here are vegetables.
That's eggplant.
Eggplant I can do.
And then bok choy.
Bok choy's right here. Like bok choy, right? Oh, I got tripe. Oh, okay. And oxtail.
Oxtail.
Good.
That's a peanut sauce.
Yeah?
With
Shrimp paste?
It's a little bit because it's so salty. I like it.
That's delicious. What's it called?
Kare.
I can't say. Now we come to lumpia. Little egg roll guys, right? And what kind are these?
It has carrots,
Yeah?
onion,
Yeah?
garlic, and celery.
That rules. Where we go next? Oh, yeah. Sinigang.
Sinigang.
Right. And you made this finally. We get something you made.
With milk fish.
Milk fish?
Yeah.
There's fish in here?
Inside. With the shrimps.
Wow.
String beans.
Yeah.
And bok choy.
Oh, there's the shrimp. There's the fish.
You can put some rice on it.
Oh, is that good? Wow.
This is empanada. It's made of shredded chicken. It has sweet peas and what else?
Raisin.
Raisin.
Let's see one. And you know, you wouldn't think shredded chicken for like a dessert thing. That's really good. Over here.
We put banana and sometimes we put jackfruit.
Jackfruit, yeah.
Yes,
and a little brown sugar sometimes?
Yes, a brown sugar. That's why it's kind of sticky.
Oh, it is
And
kind
then
of
you
sticky.
fry it. Just like how you fry the lumpia.
What?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are the powdered sweet rice, sticky rice.
Japanese is like mochi, right? Is it the same concept of mochi?
Mochiko.
Mochiko. This is called mochiko?
It comes from that also. Yeah.
So the Philippines, there's like a little bit of like everything, right?
Oh yeah, definitely Spanish, Chinese,
Japanese.
Japanese.
Okay, and this?
That's revolved from a bake shop.
The guest
The guest
spot.
spot.
Now you have to tell us.
It has probably a pound of butter, and lots of nuts all crushed up.
Oh, it does?
I don't really know what else it is.
Tell them what it stands for.
Oh, sans rival, so that's a little bit of the French influence,
Yeah.
so without rival.
It does taste very French-ish. And very rich. Oh gosh. This is your husband's favorite.
Yeah.
He was telling me about Casa of a Cake on the phone. What is it?
It's type kamoteng kahoy. It's a root.
What?
It's a young.
I'm sorry, what did you, was that? What language was that?
Kamoteng kahoy. They know it's
What?
Filipino. Kasaba. It has like coconut milk in it, sugar.
I'm really glad she made it. That's really good. One more thing. Philippines ice cream. Look at Makupano. No idea. How do you say that?
It's coconut.
Oh, it's coconut.
Yam coconut, makapuno.
And check this one, ube.
That's ube, that's purple yam.
That I know. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's really good. I've gathered the Flores sisters close to me because they've done a lot of really great work here today. They didn't make everything. We've talked about that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more when the camera goes off. But they've done just an incredible, outstanding job of all this great food. It's the perfect way to start a show about Filipino food. Am I right or am I right?
Oh yes, right.
Stay where you are, because coming back, me with my own version of some of this stuff. Hi, welcome to the show. Turns out that, can you see what's going on over here? There's a lot of chatter, people talking. Suzanne, who's usually behind the camera, is not interested in working today, so I'll handle my own show. And it's kind of cool because I can do this. And that's a shot that generally she can't get.
Okay.
We're going to start. Oh, now you want to come back. Now she wants to come back. I'll give her the camera and see if she can do as cool as I can. And now, is it possible at all that I do justice in my own kitchen to the kinds of things that we just had at the Flores sisters' house? Probably not. But I'm going to try. And the first thing we're going to start with, sorry, see? Look it. It seems like it's getting worse here. No furniture now, no carpeting, nothing. Actually, I have an idea. I could put something there to make that a little more attractive. Let's see if this will work. Yeah? And there. This is Mackie and Molly. So, kitchen looks a little better now. It's a little pretty over here. Now we're going to start. We're going to make a little Filipino with a PH or an F. See, everybody's looking at them. You know what? The camera needs to be here, not over there. We're going to make a little Filipino noodle soup. It's going to have pork in it. It's going to have... It's my show. Pork, broth, noodles. Finish it off with a little lime and cilantro. It's going to be the biz. Okay? We're going to like that. I'll hold that camera myself if I have to. I know they're cute. It's my show. So we grab a pot. We can start heating this. Just a couple things that are going here. Some garlic. Some onion. I'm trying to do this fast. I've got the pot on the heat now. A couple of cloves of garlic. Little olive oil. How are we doing, girls? Everybody good? Okay. You guys are helping make the room look much prettier. Onions, garlic, pork. We're going to throw a bunch of this in here now that these are ready. You want the pork all cooked. That's ready. Now we're going to throw some broth in. I'm using chicken broth. You know, you could use vegetable broth if you wanted. So this is going to come slowly to a boil. When it does, we're going to add two things. Some thin vermicelli and a little soy. So the soup is almost ready to add the noodles. And add a little soy. Just a little. Come back in a second. This will be good. One final, three final ingredients, I know. Throw on top of the soup. And it will cook and add like a cool little egg thing in it. This would be the Asian influence, like egg drop soup. It's kind of the same concept, except it's a Filipino thing. Okay. To do this, I'm going to use some tongs to help get this part out. Pour some broth on top. A little bit of cilantro. It's going to go on top. The final thing. A little lime squeezed over the top. If you only knew. I wish I knew Filipino for, holy crap, is this good?
After the break, Sam will try to make empanada.
The girls are gone. I'm a little sad. Plus, it's a bit plain. I got an idea. Hang on. It's better. But we're going to make empanadas. Empanadas are, the sort of Spanishy things. Again, they found their way into the whole Filipino cuisine culture deal. My favorite, carbon steel, flat bottom wok. Ground beef, some onion, garlic, tomato, a little bit of oil in here. Cut an onion. I want it fairly fine. Cook. Get something you stir all this with. But we're going to put a couple tomatoes in, like this way. Take that little core guy out. And then I don't want them mushy, so I'm going to squeeze out the seeds. Give them a big rough dice. Throw them in. We need a couple things. Oh, jeez. All right, out of here. Got it. Whoa. Hard-boiled eggs. Kill your eggs. Sweet pickles. They're like little gherkin-y guys. Except some gherkins are dill. These are sweet. Don't want dill here. I'm going to chop some of these up real fine. This stuff is done, fully cooked. Now it's just cooling. Now we have to deal with the little dough part of our empanada, which will be already made pie crusts. No point slaving, making your own. But what we do want is flour that we're going to get right from here. So flour comes out. Whoops. A nice bottle of Campari. It's got a good weight to it. Now, you want to roll it out a little bit? You can roll it out a little bit. You can deal with that. We have a sheet. We have our stuff. And the egg and the pickle are going to go in here. So now we get a big spoon and we take some of this and we put a little mound of it in the middle, and then you just roll it over. Go short. And I just roll these little ends in. It's not like the world's most perfect little empanada, but it's mine. I can tell you right now, Mrs. Cooking Guy is thinking, if this is the stuff that he did when I was first dating him, there would be no Mrs. Cooking Guy. Let's say I want to make chicken soup. And I try it at home one night. Mrs. Cooking Guy goes, don't really like that. I'll say, oh, okay, I'm going to do it on the show. Because if Mrs. Cooking Guy doesn't like it, it's an almost guarantee hit on the show. And there you have it. I'm going to give him a light little brushing with some milk, just to make the color on the top a little nicer. So we'll put that in our oven, clean up, they're going to be ready. And this is how pretty they are when they're done. But we need something to put them on, and I have the perfect thing. My newly acquired Father's Day Cooking Guy Best Cook Ever plate. Jordan made it. Ow, 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 they're hot. Ow, ow, ow. Pickle, egg, but really good. Remember that sweet pickle I told you about? That's fully right in there. It gives it a little sweetness. Filipino food may be little bits of all kinds of things, but it comes together really well. Especially in these little guys. And when they cool down, they'll be even better.
When Sam comes back,
he's making chicken adobo.
Who did that? Who put beautiful, delicious, and romantic around my picture? Tom. Thanks, man. You're awesome. Remember the adobo chicken that the Flores sisters made? I'm going to make it now. I hope it's as good. Really, I mean, I think it can be as good because I have a TV show. I'm not the Flores sisters, Never wanted to be a sister. I wanted to have a daughter, and I only got sons. But that's fully off track. That's not important now. Get yourself a big pot. The key to adobo chicken in this case, or adobo shrimp, or adobo pork, are two things. 1, soy. 2, everyday old white vinegar. We'll about a cup of soy in here. Now we're going to use about a half a cup of vinegar. A couple other things. A little brown sugar, or BS as we like to call it. A little BS. This much. Garlic. Garlic. You know, I've said it before. They put a man on the moon. They can do all sorts of incredible technological things. You'd think they'd learn how to grow a garlic that didn't have all this papery stuff on the outside. We'll use 3 cloves. Soy, vinegar, garlic, 2 more things. Where are my bay leaves? Bay leaves. They're just leaves. They're just dried leaves. You want, I don't know, like 5 of them. Whatever, just throw those in. Here, Tom over there working away. Good man, Tom. 2 more things. Pepper, fresh ground. And that's it. Except for one thing. Remember what kind of adobo this was? Adobo chicken. Let's get the chicken. This is my preferred choice for any kind of chicken dish like this. I do use breasts, don't get me wrong. I treat them differently. This application, we're going with thighs. I would suggest you do the same. And we just take them and we put them face down. I'm just going to fill this up. For this, you want about 3 pounds of these things. Okay, that's it. You got all your chicken in here. We get it all nice and covered. We take this and we put it on the stove. We turn it on. We let it come to a boil. We put the lid on. We turn it down. Give it a half an hour. Half-hour point, we come over. We take our lid off carefully, knowing there'll be steam there. And now, grab some tongs. Turn each of these thighs over. They've been face down. And then leave it for a half an hour just to cook with the lid off. Done. Bowl. Rice. This was the thing that had me worried. The Flores sisters' adobo chicken was off the hook. I wanted mine to be off the hook. So now, see how easily that cuts? I mean, this is just deluxe. Oh my God. That is what you want to be making. A little bite of rice. And a little bite of this. I mean, it's just falling off the bizzle. It's that tender. Well, that's it. That's today. That's Filipino Day with Sam the Cooking Guy. It's been okay. We made some good food. We ate a ton of good food with the Flores sisters. Let me thank them. They're sweethearts. I hope you've had fun. I'll swallow now. I'll see you guys next time. If you want any of the recipes we made today, check the website, ctn.org.
When Sams comes back, he's making a chicken adobo.
Oh, you looked at me.
Okay.
I told you not to look at me. You gotta look good.
I forgot.
Take 2. Oh crap, that's I took a... Oh God.
See, it's hot.
I need something to drink. Can you guys just eat those like that?
We don't eat it. We just
what? You think you could have said something?
Some would eat it.
There's like 100 of them in there. 4 of you are standing here watching me pick this thing up and eat it. And nobody thinks to say, oh, don't eat that. Honey, why don't you have Chris look at that boil? I'm only kidding. There's no boil. Who was the bad kid growing up? Wait. Don't say anything yet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
She was the bad kid.
Wait.
Was the bad kid.
You got 2 votes.
When Sam comes back, he's making chicken adobo.
Oh. This is going to be a while. Get in there. For God's sake.
It's when Sam comes back.
Sam, no S. There's only one of me.
What gets you moving?
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have the energy to skate through anything. So whether you like to work the half pipe,
kick the soccer ball around,
or ride your bike, carve out some time every day to get moving.
But do it your way.
Because it can be whatever you want it to be. Just get active.
Wrap it up.
Move it your way and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
That's www.letsmove.gov.
We live here, we work here, we enjoy the Valley and all it has to offer. But not everyone plays by the rules, and Nevada is losing out on thousands of dollars that help fund schools, roadwork, and government services. Well, the rules just got tougher. A new state law enables the Las Vegas Township Constable to crack down on residents who don't pay their fair share and register their vehicles within 60 days. Avoid a ticket and hefty fines. If you live here, register your vehicles in Nevada. Pay your fair share.
What did women do with the vote once the 19th Amendment passed? Just about everything. They worked with the nonpartisan League of Women Voters in voter education. They worked with political parties. They ran for and were elected to political office. Women took many different paths to political participation.
Eva Adams became Nevada's highest-ranking female federal office holder. Her path to political power utilized one of the few avenues available to women of her time. She served as an aide to a powerful man, United States Senator Patrick McCarran. Adams was born in a little mining camp called Wonder, Nevada in 1910. She graduated from the University of Nevada, Reno, and at the age of 19, she moved to Southern Nevada to teach at Las Vegas High School. This period introduced her to many influential people, such as newspaper publisher Al Kalin and Ed Clark, head of the Clark County Democratic Party. Adams continued her education, receiving a master's degree from Columbia University. She then returned to teach English at UNR. In 1940, Senator McCarran hired her to run his Washington, D.C. office. Well, she ended up being McCarran's most trusted aide, running interference and speaking for him on many, many issues. Adams never married and devoted her life to her profession. After McCarran died, she worked for his successors, Ernest Brown and Alan Bible. Upon Bible's recommendation, President John F. Kennedy appointed her Director of the United States Mint, and Lyndon Johnson reappointed her. She immediately reorganized and modernized the Mint. After a full career, Adams retired to Reno, where she spent the rest of her life. Unlike her predecessor, Jean Young Ford never imagined a life in politics. She saw herself as a traditional wife and mother. Yet Ford became active in several community organizations and eventually held office herself. Ford was born in Missouri, graduated cum laude from Southern Methodist University, and worked as a recreation therapist for several years before marrying Sam Ford, a dermatologist. They moved to Las Vegas in 1962, and she quickly became involved in the community. chaired the committee that created the Clark County Library District in 1964 and 65. She became a member of the League of Women Voters to work on public education on political issues and candidates. She became the president of the local branch and then statewide president. The League introduced her to the mechanics of politics and led to her appointment on statewide committees that forged plans for land use and the environment. In 1972, Ford was elected to the state assembly and served 2 terms as a Republican. When she returned to the legislature in 1978, she served in the Senate as a Democrat, having changed both party and House. Ford said she took the most pride in her work to end sex discrimination in the state's laws and to preserve Nevada's wilderness. During the last few years of her life, Jean worked harder and faster to complete several projects that she had begun. These include her work to establish the Nevada Women's Archives and the Nevada Women's History Project, as well as publication of a guide to manuscript sources on Nevada women. What did women do with the vote? As the lives of Eva Adams and Jean Ford illustrate, they brought their ideas and their skills to public life.
When a family is in a time of crisis, you can help. Our biggest needs are for foster parents able to take large sibling groups, teenagers, and children with special health care needs. Won't you open your home and your heart? Foster parents and foster children come in all colors of love. If you have the passion and commitment to make a difference, call 455-0181 for more information about Clark County Foster Care. Become a foster parent.
Staying safe and protecting your valuables in Clark County parks just takes a few precautions. Leave your belongings at home or secure in your vehicle, and always lock your vehicle. Park in well-lit areas and be aware of your surroundings. Don't let children wander into restrooms alone, and always know where your children are. Carry a cell phone in the event you need assistance. Don't be confrontational with lawbreakers. Call police. Just a friendly reminder from your Clark County Park Police.
This is Clark County Television, CCTV 4.
Welcome to a special edition of Best of the Badge. Recently, 21 officers with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department received our agency's highest honors for their bravery in the face of danger.
You know, as soon as I fell to the ground, death didn't come into my head at all. My family.
You're about to see exactly how these life and death moments unfolded. The awards were presented at a charity gala held at the Red Rock Resort, with each of the officers' stories introduced by former news anchor Nita Raditich. Sheriff Joe Lombardo was on stage as well to congratulate each of the awardees.
Our first award is for the Purple Heart. It comes at a cost because it is given to an officer who sustained substantial bodily injury on duty through the hostile actions of another person. 15 years after his face was crushed by a violent subject, Officer Kyle Hershey is being given the Purple Heart. He remains on the force with his old wounds fully healed.
It broke my face in several places. It basically broke my face away from my skull. Broke all my front teeth out, tore my nose off my face, this side of my nose. It destroyed my orbital socket. I ended up 2 weeks later having to have reconstructive surgery. It was an emotional roller coaster for me. I went through moments where I was extremely angry. I went through moments where I felt that it wasn't fair for somebody to treat a police officer like this, I went through moments of fear for my wife and child, but I was able to forgive him for what he did, and I feel like that's truly what saved me, what allowed me to continue on in my career and to continue to serve the community the way that I should, without anger or any kind of bias towards individuals.
Our next recipients are being presented with the Medal of Honor, which is awarded to a member for a distinctive act which extends above and beyond the normal call of duty or service, performed at a risk to personal safety or life in an effort to protect property or save human life. They are the police department's eyes in the sky, but a total loss of engine power suddenly put one of Metro's choppers into a free fall. The pilots had only seconds to prepare for a crash landing.
This is breaking news from 8 News Now.
Good afternoon. A Metro helicopter forced to come down right in the middle of a neighborhood. You're looking at the damaged aircraft from Chopper 8. Sources telling us now the names of the pilots are Paul Lorenko and Dave Kellen.
So this is actually the point where we hit the ground, and this gouge in the asphalt is from where the belly of the helicopter impacted it and took a chunk out of it.
Controller 2, just be advised, we're going to have to do emergency landing. We're just west of Eastern. Give us a red 444 and rural medical.
Coming down, I remember there was no fear whatsoever till that last second. It was just, everything was kind of in slow motion. And then that last second, you know, it was like, okay, this is going to hurt.
If we would have hit the wires, it would have been fatal, and then we probably would have, you know, God forbid somebody was in that house right there or any of the surrounding ones, you know, it would have been fatal for anybody in the house, more than likely. And the tail section actually broke off and ended up in this guy's driveway, and it took out that section of the iron fence. When we hit the ground, it was really violent, and I don't know about Paul, but I immediately felt a ton of pain in my back. I ended up breaking my back in the accident. I was shocked when I listened to the radio traffic of Paul giving all this information out as quickly as he did it, how calm he was. I couldn't believe it, and I think everybody in the unit, when it came out, when we all listened to it, I've listened to it, I can't even tell you how many times. I still listen to it, it gives me chills.
Give us a red 444 and rural medical. Get out, Dave.
You never know what to expect when pulling a driver over for a traffic violation. In this case, it was a violent felon who had no intention of getting busted. He hit the gas, grabbed his gun, and started a shootout with the officer.
I think it was good training that definitely kicked in, and I did things that I didn't realize that I did, and good training kicked in and helped me not screw it up too bad and helped me avoid getting shot. As soon as he started firing at me, it's like, wow, this guy's trying to kill me. He was going to do whatever he could to get away.
Control 3, frame 3, shots fired!
He was on probation for auto theft and apparently high on meth, ex-felon, and he had 2 pistols and a rifle. So he was up to no good that night for sure. I was happy that I didn't hesitate. You know, you always wonder, if you're faced with a deadly force situation, would I hesitate or would I respond appropriately? And I was happy to report that I didn't hesitate, and the training kicked in, and grateful for good training. It's part of the job. Any Northeast officer would have done as good or better than me. You make a difference for people, whether it's the good citizens or the bad guys. You're making a difference in the community.
One of Metro's best-known K-9 officers just retired after 25 years on the force, but it was only during his last few weeks on the job that he ever fired his weapon at a suspect. His actions to stop an armed intruder have earned him the Medal of Honor.
I've never had to pull the trigger on anyone, you know, and to have to do this, it was tough. You gonna miss me? You gonna miss me? Yeah. I think instead of talking about the nitty-gritty of my shooting, my officer-involved shooting, I'd rather kind of reflect on my career. I just recently retired from Metro here a few months ago, and my time with Metro has been awesome. Coming to work, I always enjoyed it. I've done the past almost 20 years in K-9. In that time, you know, in my entire career, my 26 years with Metro, never had a shooting until this past year. It was always an exciting day, every single day, never knowing on what kind of call I'm going to go on, whether it's going to involve an officer-involved shooting or helping somebody, helping track down a bad guy that, you know, hurt a family or hurt someone else, and finding them and the joy in that, the satisfaction of the job, I think it is. And it is a tough job because it's not something that you go out and get acclaim every day. You're not patted on the back. You're, you know, a lot of times viewed in the media and things like that as the bad guy, and it's so easy to put the blame on the police. Until you walk a mile in my shoes or our shoes, you don't know what the job is. You really don't. The little things you do make a huge impact on a lot of people. And, you know, the memories of my career are awesome.
Chasing down a drug-addicted armed robber in Laughlin, our next officer tried valiantly to de-escalate the situation, but the gunman seemed to want a deadly confrontation and refused to surrender.
I'm telling him to put it down. He doesn't want to do this. You know, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. He was telling me that he was not going to go back to prison. What made it a little bit harder was I actually knew the guy. I had met him a month prior to that. I had arrested him for drugs. And when the jail didn't take him because of a heart condition that he had, I spent 10 hours with him at the hospital. And I got to know him, so it was just one of those things. At the end of the day, he wasn't just another statistic. He was a person just like everybody else, caught up in a web of violence. At one point, you look at his eyes, and he was determined, and he advanced forward, and I had to fire. And I have been in several situations in the past where I've had to pull the trigger, and it's not something that we want to do. It's the last thing that we want to do. And that's why I did everything possible to try to talk him down.
Our next award category is for the Medal of Valor, the highest honor in this department that an officer can receive. The Medal of Valor is reserved for extraordinary acts of heroism which extend far above and beyond the normal call of duty and are performed at great risk to personal safety in an effort to save human life. At the height of a backlash against police officers nationwide, 2 officers became the target of an ambush-style attack while sitting in traffic at a busy Las Vegas intersection. One officer was shot in the hand while his partner sprang into action to catch the gunman.
It came through the side here and went through the nerves here.
That officer was rushed to the hospital after he and his partner were fired upon this afternoon while sitting in their patrol car.
I immediately took my seatbelt off, hopped out, rolled towards the back of the car, and tried to engage the suspect. But when I came back to the corner where he was shooting, he'd already taken off running.
The second officer to be shot this week, and officials say they're just getting tired of it.
That false narrative that's being spread across this country in the war on police is exactly that. It's false. These officers go out day in and day out to make a difference in this community, and there's dozens and dozens of examples every single month where they do just that.
Well, the injured officer called it in. His partner started chasing the suspect and was able to catch him without ever firing a shot.
Later on, when we talked to the DA, she showed us, well, he had a lot more bullets in that gun. You know, if he had some sort of training with that, he could have really hurt us, especially having 8 more rounds that he could have easily kept going.
I believe in fate. If it's your time, it's your time. But it wasn't my time, so I'm not going to think about the past. I'm just lucky for the future.
Working in the crowded Clark County Detention Center is a dangerous job. For one brave corrections officer, an unprovoked attack by an inmate took every ounce of training and willpower he could summon.
He was trying to kill me. I mean, I don't have a doubt in my mind he was trying to kill me. He was in there. He already has a murder case. He was able to get behind me put an arm, he had wrapped his arm around my neck, trying to kill me, trying to choke me out, basically. I was able to get out of that, regain control, took him to the ground, and by that time the sergeants had came, they got into the module, and basically that was pretty much it. I mean, I'm summing it up real quick. I mean, it seemed like it was forever while it was going on. Watching the video seems like it took forever, but I mean, the whole thing just, it happened just in the blink of an eye. These aren't your friends. I mean, no one wants to come to jail in the first place. No one wants to be there. The whole time it's going on, you're just, your mindset's just getting out of it. End of the day, I'm going home with my family. So that was it.
The search for a domestic violence suspect led to a chase and shootout right on Las Vegas Boulevard. Even though he was hit by gunfire, one officer refused to back down. His courage and composure saved himself and others.
A Metro police officer has been shot.
Ricky, yeah, like you said, we're on scene at UMC. We were one of the first ones here. We watched the injured officer come in the ambulance about 20 minutes ago. They pulled up right to the door.
The round went into the arm, the upper bicep. Traveled down the arm. It kind of went out of the armpit and back into the armpit, then down off of the ribs, and then out my back. I believe he fired 3 times. He only hit me once.
The officer is up and talking, and he is going to survive.
If you're a victim of a crime, you're just as important to us as we are when our own officers become victims. But you have to think of the mindset of the suspect that is willing to take on a police officer and fire upon a police officer.
Officers came from everywhere. I didn't get to see it, till afterwards. I heard some of it while I was in actually the hospital in trauma. After they did the CAT scan and stuff, they had me laying there, and I could hear other officers showing up at the hospital. I could still hear the radio traffic where they're looking for that guy, and I could just hear the team effort and the input that they were telling me, everyone involved. Yeah, they came from everywhere, set up a perimeter. The sheriff was there, units from all over the valley were there, trying to locate them. It was a great group effort.
Only to be captured a few hours later.
No, I don't think I'm different. I'm just grateful. That the training that the department has given me through the years, that it did kick in. I didn't just freeze up. I was able to, realize, hey, this is a threat. You're not, doomed, and survive.
A carjacking, a shooting, a stabbing. Violence and terror was moving door to door in a southeast Las Vegas neighborhood. It took teamwork, bravery, and split-second decisions to stop the man responsible for this crime-spree chaos.
This guy had a death wish, and he wasn't going to stop until he was made to be stopped.
The instinct kicked in immediately. We all immediately went to our training, setting up perimeters, treating it like a barricade originally until he continued moving on, but all those things kind of happened really rapidly, and we all transitioned knowing, all right, it's a barricade, it's not anymore, it's essentially an active shooter into this last house. From there, I was set up across the street with a rifle.
He saw the suspect standing over the victim with the weapon, and he defended the victim, and he was trying to preserve her life, and he shot the suspect from that position that he was at.
As it currently stands right now, we have an officer-involved shooting where the suspect is deceased. We have his accomplice who is in custody. We have one female who was shot in the second home invasion. We have one female who was stabbed in the first home invasion, as well as the resident male who was shot, and he succumbed to his injuries at the local hospital.
He probably would have continued on, and whoever else got in his way continued to engage them until he physically couldn't or ran out of ammo, or until he was stopped.
What Ryan did that day was absolutely amazing. Ryan's a hero. Ryan did something, and he worked in a high-pressure situation. His training took over, his professionalism took over, and he did everything that he needed to do.
Police officers are trained that at close range, knives can be just as deadly as guns. In this case, a woman with a knife in each hand was running amok in the middle of a busy roadway. The first officer to arrive took decisive action to protect the public and stop the threat.
She made it very clear and very known to me with what she was telling me and her actions that she wanted to hurt me and or kill me.
Acknowledge. Use on the 413. A female is currently in the street. She keeps threatening to PR. She's armed with 2 knives now.
And that's when she rushed my patrol car with the knives, and that's when I exited the car and started asking her to drop the knives.
Shots fired. I have the female down on the roadway. Rural medical.
I think it was less than a minute, like from the moment I told the dispatcher that I was going to be out with the lady with the knives to the moment I called out saying, hey, shots fired. It was just a matter of seconds. It was very, very quick. Mentally, I'm more ready, as in knowing that, yes, that's more than likely it can happen. So, yes, it has changed me in that way, where before I'd go on calls and I'd think, oh, we're just going to handle it and be done, thinking that'll never be you, but now knowing that, yeah, that's a very high possibility of something like that happening.
I'm hesitant to say this in a room full of police, but my script says, gun, gun, gun. Not really, that's the script. Those were the words yelled by Officer Thomas Griffin as he watched his partner attempt to arrest a common street thug. Turned out the thug had a hidden weapon, pulled it from his waistband, and was preparing to fire.
And he goes hands-on with the guy, and they start to kind of fight.
His back is to me, and I'm still trying to, work him and trying to put him down onto the ground.
I can see that the guy's trying to fight and spin away, and Todd's got him by the shirt, and his shirt's riding up, and I can see the gun in his waistband. And I can also see that Todd's got him by like the left arm and the shirt, and his right arm's free, and Todd's behind him, and he can't see the front where the gun is at.
And he starts screaming, gun, gun, gun.
And as I'm yelling, gun, 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 the guy's reaching for the gun. And I'm still yelling because he still doesn't know that he's reaching for the gun. And it was just, it's pure adrenaline terror because I could see what's going to happen.
It took a real quick second to process what he was actually saying, but then when I realized, oh my God, he's screaming gun.
And he starts to pull the gun out, and he's got it at about a 45-degree angle, and Todd's still about a foot away from it behind him. And I start yelling, drop the gun, and all of a sudden I think Todd realizes what's happening and starts to push off.
I pushed off as hard as I could, and it was almost simultaneous, where when I pushed off, pop, 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 Griffin shot him.
I knew the guy was going to shoot him because the whole time he was pulling his gun, he was looking directly at Todd's face. I went from the thought process of running up and trying to tackle and fight, probably within about 3 seconds it was over. It had happened that fast. I tried to replay it in my mind, and I actually timed it to say, gun, 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 drop the gun, and it takes about 2.5 seconds. That's how fast it went from hands-on to shots fired and down.
If Griffin wasn't there, there's probably a good chance that I'd suffer a fatal wound, if not a substantial, injury. So, thank God, I owe him my life.
Initially, a busted taillight was the only violation, but when officers pulled the driver over, he flew into a violent rage, fighting with the officer and forcing backup officers to rush to the scene. One of those officers was a new trainee on the job for just a few weeks. He was there to help when suddenly a bullet hit his neck.
But I'm going to shoot myself. At first he points it towards himself, but then he points it towards me, and he pulls the trigger.
All I remember is a pop, a flash, and kind of went black from there, and I woke up on the ground, and I realized I was bleeding.
Do you have a gun? Yes, stop! Stop! No, no! 413! 413! He's got a gun! He's got a gun! Shit! What's it?
It was very scary. I heard it first, you hear somebody say, I'm hit. And now you got two things going on. You have an officer down, but you still have a threat in front of you.
There was no time to think. There was no time for anything. It was just do or die. And I thought if I didn't do anything at that point in time, Luna was going to die.
If I stepped out of the car, split second slower, I'm moving this way and I get hit. So if I'm any slower, I'm getting hit, jugular, neck, all the vital stuff. So it happened the way it happened, and I'm just thankful I'm still here.
I ran over to him, And it was one of the hardest things to do, was to keep going past them. Carlos had gotten there first and was treating them.
We hit it.
I knew Brian was still with the suspect, so at that point, it's hard to walk over somebody that you know is hurt and needs help, but you also have to do a job.
After the fact, finding out that as soon as he shot, partners were able to stop the threat and kind of control the situation, just the way they reacted was the way I would expect any other partner to react, and I'm thankful that they were there.
As far as I'm concerned, you know, they're family for life, you know.
We've all worked together for a long time on different squads, and never once did I feel like somebody wasn't doing their job. Everybody was knew exactly what they were supposed to do, and I had complete confidence in everybody that was out there.
Responding to reports of a backyard prowler, 2 Metro officers suddenly found themselves in a situation they never expected. In fact, there were 2 prowlers hiding in the nighttime darkness. One had a shotgun, the other had an AK-47.
We went into the house. I remember just walking back to the back of the house and looking through some of the windows. Pitch black in the house, pitch black in the backyard. I just remember as soon as we opened the door, I went to go try to step out of the way, but immediately was met with I just heard 1 gunshot, and it felt like someone took a sledgehammer to my upper thigh. And in my head, it took me about 10-15 seconds to fall to the ground, but we know it happened immediately.
We didn't expect it, of course. So I actually heard him fall to the ground, and I immediately took cover behind the door frame, dropped to one knee, and just returned fire.
Officer down, officer down. Mr. 22, I've been shot in the leg.
Round had come in up in my upper thigh and fractured the bone and actually punctured right through the bone, causing it to basically blow up. You know, as soon as I fell to the ground, death didn't come into my head at all. My family.
On an incident like that, it's called fight or flight, and not one to flight. So you got to fight, stay in and fight.
First thing when Malik made it to the hospital that night after I was out of surgery, everyone gave us the room, and we hugged it out. And I'm thankful for him every day. I'm thankful for everyone that was part of that call. It worked as it was supposed to that night, and I'm appreciative of everyone that did what they needed to do to save my life and to make sure we got the guy in custody.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. We hope that you learned a little more about our men and women who proudly serve you and the community they live in. Have a good evening, and we hope to see you next year.
There are countless acts of bravery every day that don't result in awards or medals, and we salute every officer who puts their life on the line to protect our community. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you next year at the Best of the Badge.
wanted to become a police officer because I wanted to serve my community, and I wanted to make my place I live a safer place.
I grew up in a bad neighborhood, and I wanted to make it more livable for younger generation.
The short version, because I don't like bullies or other people that victimize innocent citizens in the community or in general. I've always been that protective type person with my siblings, and so that kind of geared me towards law enforcement career.
You know what, my favorite thing was the white tiger that got out up in the northwest part of town, and I got to be part of the crew that got to get it back in its cage. So it's pretty nice to get a tiger off the streets.
Listen, when I was growing up, small kid in a small town, I wanted to be a cop. I can't really say why. It was just something that really interested me, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I went to college for. And back in New York, economy was bad, nobody was hiring. I was looking, and I found the Metropolitan Police Department. And fortunately for me, after testing, they gave me a job offer.
Metro is not about the cars, the buildings, the headquarters. It's about the people, and it's about us treating the community properly and doing the job that we do to help them have a better life. And we do it every day here, and we do a great job at it. I'm so proud of Metro. I couldn't have picked a better career.
What's your emergency? I need help, please! Please help me! We are sending out emergency services to your location. I'll stay on the phone with you until they get there. I hear the sirens. I think they're here. I'm so sorry!
Start the paramedic. She's unresponsive.
Clark County TV. TV for Clark County.
It's the one place in Las Vegas where we're grateful, playful, and mindful about the sustainable plans we have for our culture, community, environment, and history. And there are many more stories at the Springs Preserve where all that matters is what's elemental. With our new Waterworks exhibit getting ready to open its impressive gates to a flood of guests, everyone is completely pumped up about this working facility at the Preserve that moves water throughout Las Vegas while raising the H2O IQ of locals and visitors alike. Located in the Charleston Heights pump station, Waterworks is a unique interactive space where you can immerse yourself in the story of water that has so influenced our desert community. A complex hydrodynamic network of pipes and treatment processes provides high-quality water from Lake Mead to the extreme reaches and elevations of the valley. Waterworks offers a reservoir of opportunities for people to experience every aspect of the watercourse, from its sources to its delivery, as well as the global impact it has on humans and our environment. Sit in a research boat and use a zooplankton net just like the water quality scientists at Lake Mead. Test your nose to sniff out ozonation used to treat water and your eyes to find the smallest water contaminants. Take control of a simulated computer model to move water throughout the valley. Feel the weight of water that many people in other countries must carry. It's the only place in Las Vegas where you can live the true journey of water. Waterworks is an unforgettable experience that will engage exhibit goers of all ages thanks to the expertise of project partners from the One Drop Foundation, the Royal Bank of Canada's Blue Water Fund, and the Springs Preserve Foundation, who know the essential nature of this resource and how water can work well for everyone. Discover the faces and places of the past at Boomtown 1905, our recreated historical streetscape where you can stroll back in time and learn more about the humble beginnings of Las Vegas through engaging interpretive exhibits. Visit springspreserve.org for more information. It's a law now, according to the Nevada State Legislature, as well as a really good idea, that we should proceed with building a second playground for the benefit of families who visit the preserve and in honor of the butterflies that make the natural beauty of our desert landscape truly bloom.
People in the community, and that extends through to the Nevada State legislative folks, realize the value that the Springs Preserve has to the entire community here. And they all, I think, are especially passionate about our youngest residents. So a bill was passed during the last legislative session, signed by Governor Sandoval just a few days after the session concluded. And so we want it to fit with our mission and our strategy and the ability for us to continue to teach sustainability to all the people that visit here.
What really gives wings to this vision of teaching sustainability through activity is encouraging children's imaginations to take flight while enjoying the playground's butterfly-inspired concept.
Theming the butterfly playground around one of our really most important pollinators is really a perfect thing for us. A lot of people don't understand the importance that pollinators bring to us in the natural environment, certainly for food crops. That ties beautifully into our new teaching garden that we have and all the sustainable issues that we deal with at the Springs Preserve.
Kids will flock to the spot, as we've seen from all the other butterfly attractions that we've discovered and are studying.
Butterfly-themed playgrounds seem to be fairly popular, and I think we'll find some really cool elements that kids will enjoy. They can learn about the natural history of the butterfly, their importance that they do provide in nature, all while having a great time and learning how they can be better stewards in the environment.
And the participation of kids in the design process for our original playground redesign now underway has totally opened our eyes to what they see as fun and memorable.
We've already had a group of experts here once, so we can use some of the elements and the designs. We've got a big book, a design book that the students' work is in, so we'll be able to incorporate some of those designs and their thoughts, which I think are the most important. What are they thinking about when they want to play? It's not necessarily what an adult might think about if we think about a child's play, but what do the kids really want to do when they get here? So that'll be a great benefit for us, having that experience as we move forward.
By giving our young visitors places that they can really call their own, by law and according to their playground rules.
We're going to have 2 playgrounds. It should be fairly easy for kids to have a really great time here. And I also hope they take away a little bit of learning about how we interact with each other and how we interact with the natural environment. Those are the types of things that I remember from being very young and playing outside and having those experiences that instilled in me, as I became an adult, a sense of stewardship. And we're going to have 2 opportunities to do that here at the Springs Preserve, and I think it's going to be great for the entire community.
We're about to enjoy a new beginning at the Springs Preserve as every living thing breathes a sigh of relief after a summer of Mojave heat, soaks up some welcome touches of rain, dresses in all kinds of finery, and gets ready for the revelry that comes with our signature fall festivals and events.
The fall events at the Springs Preserve you just can't beat. After the summer heat, you're looking for a little relief, and what's better than walking around the beautiful gardens that are at their prime and looking their best.
During our autumn plant sale on Saturday, September 16th, you'll have your pick from thousands of native and drought-tolerant species, including many unique and hard-to-find treasures, as well as familiar Mojave Desert-adapted specimens.
The Autumn Plant Sale is a free event for the plant lover in all of us. Guests can come and purchase desert adaptive plants and native plants as well that you may not be able to find in other places. Master gardeners are also available on site to answer questions. Springs Preserve members receive an early entry as well as 10% off plants purchased that day.
On Saturday, September 23rd, the Asian Heritage Celebration will welcome visitors to a whole world of Eastern, Pacific, and Oriental traditions.
Asian Heritage is a representation of dances, music, and culture from the Far East. Guests can come and experience tasty, authentic food, as well as fun activities and crafts. One of my favorite things about Asian Heritage is that we have the lion dance every year. It is a fun, interactive, colorful display of the Chinese culture. I also enjoy seeing the taiko drummers who come and get everyone involved, from the adults to the kids.
On Saturday, September 30th, the Grapes and Hops Festival will turn the preserve into an elegant setting for fine alfresco cuisine and music with the best adult beverages, and all for a good cause.
At this year's 8th annual Grapes and Hops event, we again partner with Par for the Cure, a local charity who supports breast cancer awareness and research. Guests who come and experience the event will be exposed to live entertainment, as well as over 25 different beer and wine stations, generously donated by Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits. Guests will also experience an offering of 6 different food tastings that are included in the ticket price. This event will sell out. We encourage guests to plan their date night or girls' night out soon and purchase tickets online.
Then, leading up to Halloween Eve, we'll have several weekends from October 13th through the 29th of our perennially popular Haunted Harvest.
Haunted Harvest is our spectacular Halloween event where guests can experience live entertainment, trick-or-treat stations, carnival games, petting zoo, and arts and crafts. Even the littlest trick-or-treater will enjoy the 7 trick-or-treat stations throughout the botanical gardens.
But before the preserve returns to its natural state, we'll have one more weekend from November 3rd through the 5th of supernatural occurrences for a growing number of guests who love the lively experience of our Day of the Dead event.
Dia de Muertos is a fun, exciting, colorful cultural event. Guests can walk through the gardens and experience over 35 altars. There's so many fun things to do at Day of the Dead. You can color a sugar skull, you can have your face painted, you can listen to the mariachis. It really is a fun event to learn about the traditional Mexican culture.
But what makes our eventful schedule of festivals worthwhile for all of us is their contribution to creating an essential and enduring crossroads of culture and community here at the Springs Preserve.
The fall events are just a great way for the community to come and have the Springs Preserve as a gathering place.
In a city that's famous for hurtling toward the future as fast as it can, Roy Purcell's constant vision of what once was brings the bygone days of the Las Vegas Valley to life through his mixed media pictures with text that are the last word in past history. Visit springspreserve.org for more information. With a potential return to the moon and plans for future travel to Mars on our exploratory horizon, the timing is right for the traveling exhibit We've Landed that will make astronauts of us all in a journey that begins right here on Earth at the Preserve, but is as infinite as the universe and the human imagination and passion for discovery. It's a stellar and otherworldly experience where the whole family has a virtual opportunity to pull a few G's at blastoff. Join the crew of the International Space Station through live video footage, handle and examine rock samples for magnetism and radioactivity, dress for success as a space voyager in your own flight suit. or even virtually have your very own try at a spacewalk, a truly immersive trip into space where you'll see Earth as you've never seen it before. And get the truest possible feeling for living somewhere else in the solar system without ever leaving our own orbit. Designed and produced by SciTech in Perth, Australia, and produced by Imagine Exhibitions, Inc., Astronaut appears only at the Springs Preserve for a limited time. So join us through September 17th at the launch of this voyage of a lifetime and many generations. In many ways, we have good grounds for teaching ancient hunting skills here because this site was a traditional gathering place for prehistoric animals and the peoples who crafted the weapons and mastered the techniques our guests are now rediscovering in a series of classes that give them new insights into the lives of the preserve's early inhabitants.
Recently, we've developed sort of an archery program here. We've done some Boy Scout merit badge classes dealing with archery, and sort of this traditional hunting workshop is an outgrowth of that. We thought, okay, well, we can teach people how to shoot a bow and arrow, but it's really interesting for people to learn how people hunted before bows and arrows. How did they get their food before bows and arrows?
And it's an incredible lesson in seeing the terrain of the preserve through the eyes of both the hunter and the hunted.
You can compare and contrast modern hunting to sort of more prehistoric or ancient hunting. Very similar. Obviously, you're not running around the landscape hoping that the animals, the deer, the bighorn sheep are going to see you. So you would have spots, you would have blinds, you would have sort of hidey holes where you could see the animals and they couldn't see you. You also would have done a lot of stalking. You would have snuck up on the animals, get really close because the weapons you had weren't long distance, long range weapons. It's not like a high powered rifle where you can be 100 yards away from them and still bag an animal. You'd have to get pretty close, 20, 30 yards at the farthest, probably. Oh, close.
But humans and animals always existed in close proximity to each other and their shared resources.
Because of the springs, because of the water, animals would congregate here. They would probably be on regular sort of migration routes or routes going from spring to spring or water source to water source, just like people. So people would have followed the animals, people would have followed the water as well.
In an incessant ritual of hunting that was essential to survival here.
It was a constant struggle for existence. You were out there daily looking for your food. What were you going to have for lunch? What were you going to have for dinner? And you might be able to collect and save some of that, but most days you were out looking for food. Hunting would have played an important part of that.
With the prey ranging from easy targets to the biggest game.
Smaller game, smaller animals like rabbits would have been very, very important to prehistoric peoples. But also deer. There would have been some deer once you get into sort of the uplands, as well as bighorn sheep were very, very important. So those types of animals were the bigger ones they would have hunted sort of prehistorically around the time of European contact and even into later periods. Going farther back, we know that people were hunting mammoth. People would have been hunting bison antiguus, which was a really big prehistoric buffalo with giant horns. And so those are the animals that would have been really the focus of people before bows and arrows, when people were using spear throwers and those types of things.
The remnants of their advanced weaponry is evident throughout the valley and the preserve.
In other parts of the valley, we found parts of Clovis projectile points. And these are the really big spear points that people would have used to hunt animals like mammoth or bison. Here at the Springs Preserve, we do have several other projectile points that are most likely spear tips, would have been used for spear throwers or atlatls, and those projectile points date to about 3,000 to 5,000 years old. And we have several of those that we've found. And then, of course, later in time, we have other arrowheads, projectile points that are more reminiscent or what we would expect from bows and arrows. They're smaller, they're a little bit sharper, not as much mass to those. So we have those all over our property here.
Where we're now bringing these artifacts back to life again for sportsmen and historians and any interested visitors who want to experience the original hunting grounds of the preserve in a simulated but very realistic search for food.
We're back! We teach people how to throw a spear and learn about that. Then we show them how to use a spear thrower and show the ease as you develop that technology, how much easier it becomes to hunt your food. And then we teach them how to use a bow and arrow. And then we have some 3D targets out in our property, and we go on a sort of a virtual hunt and let them hunt for their dinner.
We've come of age in many ways, and we're pleased to be reaching out and interacting with you now on social media sites such as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us for updates, information, and invitations that will keep you in touch with the preserve wherever you go. For more information, visit springspreserve.org. It's never too early to think spring, at least for Southern Nevada's gardeners who are positively blossoming with ideas about the possibilities of fall planting.
I would say fall, early fall is the best time to be planting most of the plants that we grow here in Las Vegas. If you're looking at a lot of the native shrubs and a lot of the perennials and things that do well in Las Vegas, especially the ones that bloom in the springtime, those are the ones you want to get in the ground in the fall time.
There's no rest for the best desert gardeners as they rush to reap the future benefits of sowing during our blessedly mild autumn weather.
A lot of the native shrubs and wildflowers are great to plant now in the fall, and a lot of the deciduous trees are excellent to plant now. Like I said, they'll get their root systems down through the winter time, and they'll be ready for the next heat wave when it hits in the summer the following year.
But, as always, so much depends on the timely care and feeding of plants that slumber through the summer, then wake up hungry.
Generally during the summertime, a lot of the plants will be dormant. Not completely dormant, but they'll stop growing because of the heat. They can't photosynthesize. They can't do a lot of what they normally do. So what happens is you'll have plants will stop growing, and then in September, as the temperatures cool down, then you'll start to get new growth on the plants, which is really great. So a little bit of fertilizer in September is a great time of year to be fertilizing. You just have to be careful that as you get into October, you want to make sure you're no longer fertilizing or you have stopped fertilizing, because the plants you don't want them to be growing really strong as the first of the winter hits, and those freezing temperatures can really do some damage to plants if they're growing strong at that point.
Because they're meant to grace your garden season after season, we're ready to offer any advice we can about what to plant and exactly when.
September, October is the time to sow wildflowers. So if you want wildflowers in your yard, the California poppies and the desert bluebells, desert marigold, now's the time to buy your seed and put it on the ground and let it grow through the winter time. And the other thing is spring bulbs. Spring bulbs, we do have a variety of spring bulbs that work great in Las Vegas. Daffodils as well as grape hyacinths and some of the species tulips are really great. So if you can buy those and get them planted in October, you'll have a great spring display. And the spring bulbs can actually be extremely good drought-tolerant plants because they'll sit in baking hot, dry soil all summer long without any need for water, and you'll still get a great display of flowers in the springtime.
Even plants that aren't putting on a good-looking fall show may be raring to go once winter's over.
If you'll notice at the nurseries, you'll see plants like penstemons or things that don't look great in the fall. Fall is not their best time of year, but those are the ones you want to plant in the fall time. They'll grow through the winter time, they'll put down a really good root system, and then you'll get a spectacular bloom in the springtime.
But beware of the true heat seekers that won't overwinter well.
There are some plants that you want to be careful planting in the fall, things like citrus or any other really tropical things that love the heat and do really well in the heat. They may have a harder time in the winter with the really cold weather.
A wide array of plants from our one-of-a-kind collection are always on display in our botanical gardens and during our annual autumn sale.
We have a unique display of plants that are desert adapted, great for our region, and especially plants that may be native here or hard to find in other areas. So that's what our plant sale is all about.
And if you like what you see at the Preserve, we want you to feel free to chat with any of our staff or trained volunteers about how to do it yourself and give your own home garden a spring into fall.
The staff is available at the Springs Preserve. We're working with the plants. We know what to do with the plant material. We can help people tell what plants are good to plant. We can help people diagnose plants and plant problems. So we're happy to do that where we're able to. And so the Springs Preserve is a good resource for just gardening, seeing different plant material that looks really good, and preparing your own garden for what's coming up.
Come design, plant, and grow your ideal garden with our upcoming workshops on everything from vegetables to sensational herbs, container gardening to compost, and even a little lesson on gifts from the garden. Space is limited for these programs, so please pre-register online, in person, or by phone at 702-822-7700. Sustainability is in our nature, mission, and design at the Springs Preserve, and yet we're still taking pains every day to practice, preach, and prove the value of conserving our resources, protecting our environment, and living in harmony as humans from generation to generation.
We have these amazing sustainable buildings here at the Springs Preserve, and the staff is really dedicated to environmental stewardship and learning how to live in a sustainable way. So if we're going to be teaching people how to be sustainable, it's really important for us to be as sustainable as we can as well. We have to set a good example. You know, we have to walk the walk.
So we assemble diverse and dedicated people to guide our sustainable initiatives.
We have an environmental team here called the Sustainability Team, and there are about 15 members. These are staff members from each of the different departments, and they get together every month. They talk about our sustainability efforts here. They look at how effective they're being, and then they talk about ways that we can evolve to become better, to make changes, to become more effective.
Beginning with some of the most traditional and recognizable kinds of conservation efforts.
We, of course, recycle all of the usual things like paper and plastic and glass, but we also recycle batteries here. We've been involved with the Christmas tree recycling committee for many, many years. All of our food waste here is recycled, so we have a very extensive composting program that has been in effect for a long, long time.
Along with reducing and reusing what once were waste materials, we're also rewarding local and traditional craftspeople and artisans to sustain their talents and cultures.
Our gift shop is an amazing place where you can find lots of really unique, handmade, locally made gifts for everyone on your list. And when they're buying items for the gift shop, they really look for things that are, fair trade or locally produced by local artists or, that are environmentally friendly.
But it's not just a feeling of being environmentally friendly, it's an actual fact according to the accounting systems we use to measure our successes in every aspect of the preserve.
Our sustainability efforts are really wrapped up in something that we call the Environmental Management System, EMS. And every year we have an external auditor that comes in and looks at our sustainability efforts and helps us to gauge how effective we're being. And it's actually part of a wider project called ISO 14000. And what ISO 14000 is really about is environmental stewardship on all levels in terms of operations, systems, buildings, everything that you're doing, your programming, how you can really make an impact in the environment.
Including on the personal level, one thoughtful, sustainable change at a time.
The Springs Preserve has had a really big effect on me personally and living more sustainably. And where I've really noticed it the most is the way that I buy my food. So I am very conscious now of buying just what I need. Is it in season right now? How much do I really need? Part of our mission is really to teach people how to do that. So we have some really amazing cooking classes that we offer that definitely have an angle towards sustainability.
Which means we can eat, sleep, and live more sustainably daily in the spirit and with the inspiration of the Springs Preserve.
There's something about being here in this environment that really makes you want to learn how to protect what we have.
There's a lot more to discover, so join us next time here at the Springs Preserve. We're improving water knowledge, sharing the laws of play and survival, planting that ideal fall garden, and coming together as a community are essential elements of our mission that mingle to bring new life to Las Vegas.
County Parks and Recreation, with more than 100 parks, 13 community centers, and special facilities such as the Clark County Museum, Horseman's Park, the Wetlands Park Nature Preserve, and the Clark County Amphitheater, we have something for everyone. Want to learn how to play guitar? Piano? Or how about putting your young one in one of our many quality early childhood programs? We have recreation centers with qualified staff on all parts of the valley. If you're thinking about becoming more active, try joining one of our many sports leagues or fitness rooms throughout the valley. Take a stroll in one of our parks, enroll in an exercise class, swim some laps in one of our pools, or just ride a bike on one of our many urban trails. Call 455-8200 to get more information about programs and learn more about our vast amenities, such as our award-winning shooting range. Clark County Parks and Recreation. It's where fun happens.
On the next edition of Where Fun Happens, the Clark County Museum hosts Heritage Holidays, offering sights and sounds to celebrate the season. Poet laureate Vogue Robinson brings some soul, Britney soul, to the microphone in our studio. And the Winchester Cultural Center has a host of concerts and programs for everyone. Those stories and more coming up on the next edition of Where Fun Happens, right here on Clark County Television. The Vegas Strong Resiliency Center is a safe haven, a place for residents, visitors, and responders affected by the tragic events of the 1 October shooting incident. Staffed with compassionate professionals, services include victim advocacy and support, counseling referrals, and help accessing the FBI's Victim Assistance Services website. The center is located at 1524 Pinto Lane. It's open weekdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 702-455-AID or 1-833-2998.
The more pet-friendly our community becomes, the more important it is to make sure your pet is up to date on its vaccinations. Vaccines help prevent many contagious diseases that can be fatal for pets. Your dog or cat can be susceptible to diseases if it is outdoors at all, socializes with other animals, or travels with you. Annual rabies shots are required, but several other vaccines are strongly recommended within the first 6 to 8 weeks of your pet's life. Boosters are also needed. Don't wait. Talk to your vet today. Let's keep our pets safe, healthy, and happy.
Preparing today reduces the consequences of a disaster tomorrow.
In an emergency, you may need to leave your home fast. That's why the best time to prepare for an emergency is before one strikes. Your plan should include up to 10 days of food, water, and special need items for every member of your family, including your pet. Most people shelters don't allow pets. To learn more about emergency preparedness, download our free Southern Nevada Community Preparedness app to your smartphone, or visit the Office of Emergency Management pages of Clark County's website for more tips.
I'm Matt Lewis, and you're watching CCTV 4, Clark County. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Up here in Mount Charleston, it's easy to forget about the urban valley below us. The air is thinner, it's cooler, and there's more weather, from rain to snow. But the one thing that's identical is the rain that falls up here and the rain that falls in downtown Las Vegas all ends up in the same place, Lake Mead. Welcome to the Flood Channel. I'm your host, Beatriz Martinez. Today we're going to take a look at how rain from a thunderstorm up here in the mountain makes its way down 81 miles through the valley all the way to Lake Mead. The trip will take us thousands of feet downhill, and we're going to show you how the flood control system and gravity take that storm runoff all the way through Lake Mead.
The Las Vegas Valley is surrounded by mountains like these. The Sheep Range to the east, and the Spring Mountains here, which reach a peak on Mount Charleston at 11,916 feet. Here, in Lee Canyon, the winter brings snowboarders, skiers, and those looking for a snowy retreat. But in summer, the monsoon winds can blow in storms, dumping inches of rain in a matter of minutes. This summer, Lee Canyon Road washed out during one summer storm. If you have driven or hiked up here, you know just how steep the terrain is. That means water rushes downhill fast. The Carpenter 1 fire burned for weeks in the summer of 2013. Firefighters had to climb from 5,000 to 11,000 feet to tackle flames. Roads were closed and homes evacuated. When the fire was finally put out, 28,000 acres had burned. That same summer, a huge storm sat over the mountains for hours, with upwards of 6 inches of rain right on the burn scar. When water came down to the valley below, it was black and smelled like smoke. The fire destroyed trees and shrubs and left the soil charred. It can take 7 years for soil to begin to recover enough to absorb water again. That means flash flooding on the mountain is an even greater risk.
Here, on the Rainbow Canyon side of the mountain, residents have seen their share of flash flooding, and the effects of a wildfire here 4 years ago are still being felt.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers worked with the state and the county to address homeowners' concerns. The berm was constructed by Forest Service workers in 2014 after flash flooding cost more than $1.4 million in damage to roads and water lines. The $3 million earthen berm stretches for 2,300 feet and protects 15 homes below in the canyon. It is designed to withstand a 25-year storm. That's a storm that has a 4% chance of occurring in any given year.
This berm was constructed to protect homes from flash flooding until the soil from the mountain can recover and absorb rainwater. As we make our way down the mountain, we'll see how the flood control system controls the stormwater. Behind me is the Kyle Canyon Detention Basin, and it's one of the first structures that the Regional Flood Control District built. It's also the first line of defense against flooding from the mountain.
Back in 2013, right after the fire, this basin filled with so much water it would have filled a swimming pool the size of a football field, which rose higher than the Stratosphere Tower. Basins like these are designed to slow water down. The district has built 91 of these basins throughout the county. You can think of these as big bathtubs without a plug. When water leaves a basin, it typically travels underground in storm drains. 4 years ago, as the Kyle Canyon Detention Basin drained, not all the underground channels were in place. Water came back onto Grand Teton Road 1 mile downstream. The result was a mess for residents, as the road looked more like a river. Since that event, 2 district projects have been finished under Grand Teton, and now the runoff from Kyle Canyon stays underground all the way to an above-ground channel, the Las Vegas Wash Middle Channel. One carries water from Mount Charleston and the other carries rainwater that falls locally in the northwest part of Las Vegas. On the left here, you'll see the runoff from the mountain is darker as it contains remnants from the fire. The Regional Flood Control District has more than 612 miles of channels and underground storm drains. Another 205 miles of these flood control channels are planned as the district works on its master plan. The future facilities and those currently carrying water will all connect to natural washes. 2 of these washes, the Flamingo Wash and the Las Vegas Wash, come together at a golf course that doubles as a flood control facility.
Here at the club at sunrise, it's a great day for golf. But when the skies darken, 2/3 of all rainfall in the Las Vegas Valley ends up right here. It doesn't even have to be raining here for there to be water. That's a key message we tell our students in our school outreach program.
The district gives presentations to elementary school students throughout the county, from large schools in the middle of the city to small rural schools like Ute Perkins Elementary in Moapa.
Our presentation is about safety, so whoever said that was right. So whenever you guys hear anything about safety, make sure your eyes are open really wide and pointing at the presenters, and your ears are open. There's no one else's voices in them, because what you learn today is going to help save your life or the life of someone else. So today's presentation is about flash floods. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of a flash flood or seen a flash flood. Flash flooding happens when there's really, really hard rain. How many of you guys have ever heard it rain while you were in your classroom, in the ceiling, yeah? So if it goes really, really hard, that means there might be a flash flood.
Flooding has hit the Moapa Valley in a big way in recent years. In 2014, a storm wiped out a portion of Interstate 15 and blocked access to and from some rural schools.
The flooding was just crazy. It washed out the freeway. The kids here were trapped. They couldn't get home. And we a lot of teachers couldn't get home to the other valley, and there were quite a few houses that their basements were washed out, and there were some cars trapped. It was pretty crazy out here. We have quite a few streets down in Overton. A lot of times when there's a big rain, you can't get out to like Lake Mead, to Valley of Fire, because there's a huge dip, and that's just, it floods and you can't get through.
Should you guys ever go in those washes when it's raining? Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever go into washes or channels or detention basins. You'll see one in the video. Detention basins are like a big bathtub. We use these big bathtubs to catch the water because sometimes, remember how it rains up in the mountains? That water is sliding down fast. So we have to catch it, and we put it in that detention basin and we hold it and slow it down. In fact, in the next couple of years, you guys might see it, we're going to build a detention basin not too far from your school, so that when it rains on top of the mountains near your school, we catch all that water.
So several of the kids out here, they, after that big flood, they will bring, at the beginning of the year, like a big bag full of food and water and like a blanket in case they're trapped here again. So just being prepared. This valley is great at stepping up and helping each other, but we really try to be prepared.
Flash flooding happens when there's really, really hard rain. How many of you guys have ever heard it rain while you were in your classroom, in the ceiling, yeah? So if it goes really, really hard, that means there might be a flash flood.
It's extremely important because a lot of these kids, they play outside all the time, and when that water hits, like there's no warning, you don't hear it coming, it just comes, and they really need to know safety, to know what to do if they see that flood coming, how to get out of it, and just all those safety precautions.
Over the past 2 years, the district has reached more than 20,000 students with messages to be remembered.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dirty. It's dirty. It's dangerous. It's dirty. Don't drive. Oh no! Great job.
A current project to help alleviate flooding in this area is the Muddy River Logandale Levee. Workers are finishing up on construction of a 3,000-foot-long earthen levee. The levee has a concrete slope protection to prevent erosion from the Muddy River waters. Clark County is overseeing this project, which cost $6.7 million.
Oh, don't take Charleston. Don't take Charleston.
If you have a fortune teller, you know when flash floods are coming. If you don't, you need the Flood Spot app. Get it free today at BeFloodSafe.com.
And don't have the chili dog for lunch. Trust me with this.
Lake Mead is full of life. A seemingly endless aquatic parade, attracting and sustaining busy desert creatures. It's one of the most diverse ecosystems in Nevada, with species found nowhere else on Earth. But every time soap suds run down your driveway, oil drips in the streets, fertilizer washes off your lawn, or random trash gets swept in our storm sewers, their home gets a little uglier. They get a little sicker. If we don't take simple steps to change our ways, soon you'll wonder where all our friends have gone. It's time to clean up our act, Southern Nevada. To get your home or business lake-friendly certified, visit BeLakeFriendly.com.
This is the Wetlands Park, a watery gem in the middle of the Mojave. But this isn't Mother Nature's water. All the city's stormwater and urban runoff end up right here.
So when it rains, it collects in the streets and in drop inlets or in sewer grates, and then that water flows downstream through our system and into the Las Vegas Wash. So it just means that we have to, essentially we're required to protect that water the water quality of the storm water before it enters Las Vegas Wash and Lake Mead. And there are a number of different programs in the Las Vegas Valley that we're required to implement in order to protect that water and make it as clean as possible before it enters Las Vegas Wash. Because it's not treated by a treatment system like your municipal sewer system, which goes through a very highly regulated treatment system. Stormwater just goes directly into Lake Mead, and so we have to do all kinds of measures to implement in order to allow for that water to be treated before it goes to the Las Vegas Wash. Anytime it rains, any surface that the rain hits can have some kind of pollutants on it, whether it's brake dust from cars or oil and grease that drips off of cars. Anytime you see oil spots in parking lots or at gas stations, anytime it rains, the water hits the ground, it picks up those pollutants and then ultimately carries those pollutants downstream. Another significant source is erosion, not just from the dry desert, but also from construction sites. And so we have a program where we're required to implement measures to try and prevent erosion from construction sites from reaching the Las Vegas Wash and Lake Mead, to try and keep those sediments on the construction site where the construction is occurring. The importance of keeping illegal dumping. So everything from people that dump oil, we get reports of people dumping motor oil or other solvents into the storm sewer system. We get reports of people dumping garbage and trash into the storm sewer system, into the channels and flood controlled basins, or just even into the desert. That all eventually makes its way into our storm sewer system and into the Las Vegas Wash.
Because the Wetlands Park is first and foremost a floodway to get all of that water from the watershed out into the lake, it does bring a lot of trash. So any trash that falls anywhere within the valley, those floodwaters can bring that trash into the various washes, then in turn enter into the Las Vegas Wash. So after any rain event, we find all kinds of trash in the wash, which is within the Wetlands Park. So unfortunately, you can see mattresses, you can see surfboards, you can see stuffed animals. We found tons and tons of balls, basketballs, any kind of ball you find out here. So it really is a problem. So we try very hard to go out and clean after these flood events, but it's always happening out there, and it's something that people need to be cognizant. You know, when you throw that piece of trash out your window, it can make its way into the Las Vegas Wash. You know, what you do upstream affects us downstream. And so it's really important, you know, just to put your trash in the proper place, because otherwise you will see it at the end of the line.
Wetlands Park was created by stormwater and urban runoff. Its main purpose is flood control, but it's also an amazing place to walk, bike, or see something you might not expect to find in the desert.
So the Clark County Wetlands Park is located on the eastern part of the valley. It's about 2,900 acres in size, about 7.5 miles long, and it really is a wonderful place here out in the valley. We've got more than 2,900 acres of wetland and riparian habitat. You can see wildlife out here that you can see nowhere else in the valley. We've got raccoons, beaver, kit foxes, coyotes, and more than 300 species of birds that can be seen out here on any given day. What's really great about the Clark County Wetlands Park is it's built in the floodway, and so all of the water from the watershed flows through the Clark County Wetlands Park and the Las Vegas Wash, and that's what brings water to the Clark County Wetlands Park. That's why the Wetlands Park was built. And with that, as it makes its way through the Clark County Wetlands Park, it can create all this wonderful wetland and riparian habitat. It brings plants and animals here that you don't see elsewhere. And so we have built more than 14 miles of trails through the Wetlands Park. We've got more than 210 acres within the nature preserve of really nicely manicured trails that you can come out and hike on. They're all ADA compliant. And so it really is a great place to come out and visit.
This park is at a much lower elevation than the rest of the valley. This is where all the water comes down. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of trash with that.
Everyone can do their part to keep stormwater clean.
Another is to keep trash and debris picked up in your yards and in your facilities Another thing is to make sure that your vehicles are well maintained so that you get oil leaks or other fluid leaks of your vehicles fixed promptly. Those kinds of things. Always take your vehicle to get changed. If you do your oil changes yourself, never dump the oil in the storm sewer system. Always take it to a recycling facility or get your oil changed at a reputable oil change facility. A source of pollutant that a lot of people don't think of is pet waste, and so you always want to make sure that when you take your pet out, you have some doggy bags with you to take that to be able to pick up the pet waste and take it back with you and throw it in the trash appropriately. Don't just leave it on the streets, because ultimately that again ends up in the storm sewer system. Lots of community facilities, parks, and trails have doggy bag stations along them so that, to make it easy for residents to be able to manage their pet waste, but we still see quite a bit of that.
The district's environmental mitigation manager coordinates efforts to protect water quality.
Our role is really to coordinate compliance with the permit among the municipalities and the county. So the permittees on the NPDES permit are the cities of Henderson, Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas, and Clark County, and then the district is the other permittee. So there are 5 permittees, and we meet on a regular basis. We have a stormwater quality management committee that meets on a quarterly basis to talk about issues associated with complying with the permit. Everything from we discuss everything from public information to water quality monitoring that we do, to issues associated with the state regulatory apparatus. All those things are discussed in those meetings, and then we have staff level meetings where we coordinate regularly on different activities that we're required to implement.
The local stormwater program is audited by the state's Division of Environmental Protection and the Federal Environmental Protection Agency.
The state and the federal government audit the program, and every 5 years. So usually about every 5 years, when the permit is close to coming to a conclusion, they come in and they do an audit, and they'll spend a couple days, 2 or 3 days with the permittees, both looking at records and documentation that the permittees create and collect, as well as actually going on site with inspectors to oversee and monitor how inspectors are doing their inspections. The permittees just recently successfully completed their audit closeout of the most recent audit that was done in 2014. That was a collaborative process with both the state and the local jurisdictions, and we made a lot of improvements to our program. The next steps are to renew our current permit, which has already expired but been administratively extended. And then once we have that new permit in place, within 3 to 5 years of that new permit, there'll be another audit. So it's just a continual cycle of renewing the permit, being audited, responding to the audit, and then renewing the permit again, all geared towards this continuous improvement of the permit and the program to better address stormwater quality issues in the valley.
The best time to come out here is the spring and the fall when the weather is at its best. We have our Haunt the Wetlands coming up in the last Friday in October. We have tons of hikes planned and volunteer events, part of our Wetlands Hands-On event. The first Saturday of every month we have a stewardship event, so check out our website and come see some of our programs. And right now all of our programs are free, and we encourage everybody to come out and explore your park.
I love what I do. It's nice to feel like you're making a contribution to the citizens of the valley and working with the community to address water quality issues, which is an important part of our important part of our life. All the water that drains from Lake Mead or drains from the Las Vegas Valley drains into Lake Mead, and that's also where we get our drinking water supply. So it's a really important part of maintaining the health of our ecosystem.
It's hard to imagine that rainfall in Mount Charleston comes all the way down here to Lake Mead. That's why it's important that we all do our part to keep litter away from our flood control system. To learn more about stormwater quality management, you can go to belakefriendly.com. And as always, to learn more about the Regional Flood Control District, you can go online or on Twitter and Facebook.
Southern Nevada's cherished holiday tradition is back. The Magical Forest at Opportunity Village. A winter wonderland aglow with millions of sparkling lights. The Magical Forest dazzles with nightly entertainment, delicious treats, delightful rides, and endless cheer. Even Santa's here. Enjoy Magical Forest from November 24th through December 31st, with gates open at 5:30 p.m. nightly. Closed Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. For details, visit magicalforest.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no secret to this next trick. Hard hat, check. Tank, check. Building permit. Uh-oh. Never fear, Magic fans. They're in here somewhere. Voila! But don't try this at home. There's no secret to building permits. Even I need them.
On the next edition of Clark County Chronicles, an Illinois carpenter built a shrine that provided a soothing place for a grieving community. A spectacular stadium groundbreaking paid tribute to the 58 lives lost during the 1 October tragedy. And Clark County has completed hundreds of adoptions this year, creating loving families for innocent children. Those stories and more coming up on the next edition of Clark County Chronicles, right here on Clark County Television.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'd like to talk to you about emergency preparedness. And one part of being prepared is to take the time to store extra food and water supplies, which I'm doing right now. It's actually pretty easy to do. Just get extra items when you do your regular grocery shopping and separate those extra items away from your everyday food supply. Put them in a box or container, just like I'm doing. You know, you may think it's not likely that a disaster could disrupt your food and water supply for days or even weeks, but it could happen. Major natural disasters like hurricanes and floods create problems, of course, but even severe thunderstorms and ice and snowstorms can close roads and create long-term power outages. Human-caused disasters can also contaminate water supplies and create other problems.
It doesn't take a large catastrophic disaster for any one of us to find ourselves in a situation where we are stuck in our home, maybe for a period of days, without food and water available to us other than what we have there.
And if that happened, would you have enough food and water to feed your family for an extended period of time? Fortunately, it's easy to get prepared with a supply of food and water. What food items did you have on hand?
Tuna in packets. We have peanut butter.
Dried fruits.
Canned goods.
Nuts.
Chicken in the can.
These are all good items to store because they are non-perishable, don't need refrigeration, and require no cooking. You don't need special foods. You can use foods that are around the house, those non-perishable things that you have every day. Canned soup, dried fruit items. Select foods that are high in calories and nutrition and meet any special dietary needs that family members may have. Get items when they are on sale and store them in a dry, cool spot. Just make sure these items are non-perishable, don't require refrigeration or cooking. Check expiration dates and shift your stored supplies into everyday use before they expire. Remember to replace these supplies on your next trip to the grocery store. If the power goes out, use food from the refrigerator first, then your freezer. And be sure to have a manual can opener on hand, something that doesn't require electricity.
In a disaster situation, you need to maintain your strength by eating at least one well-balanced meal a day. And you need to make sure you drink enough liquid for your body to function properly. Having a supply of clean water is a top priority.
Floods or chemical contamination may make your tap water unsafe for drinking and even for personal hygiene, such as washing your hands or brushing your teeth. If this is the case, you will be advised by local authorities. Contaminated water can cause diseases like dysentery, typhoid, and hepatitis. Having a supply of clean water is a top priority in an emergency. Under regular conditions, an active person needs to drink at least 2 quarts of water each day. You also need water for food prep and personal hygiene. So you'll need to prepare by storing at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. And remember to include your pets, as they need water too. For a family of 4, you'd need 4 gallons of water per day. If you have to evacuate, take a 3-day supply. And if you are staying at home, have at least 4 additional days of water on hand, or ideally, as much as a 14-day supply. Now that's a lot of water. You can use large water containers like this, which stores about 7 gallons. And for a family of 4 that needs to evacuate, 2 jugs like this will meet your needs. You can also buy cases of bottled water or store the water in large, thoroughly washed plastic containers. Do not reuse plastic jugs or cardboard containers that have had milk or fruit juice in them. Milk protein and fruit sugars cannot be adequately removed from these containers and provide an environment for bacterial growth when water is stored in them. Seal the containers tightly, label them, and store in a cool, dark place. Shift your stored water into everyday use every 6 months, and remember to replace your supply. Since flood water can contain raw sewage, it's not safe to drink water or eat any food that may have come into contact with flood water. If you run out of your stored supply of clean water, you can use the water in your hot water tank, pipes, and ice cubes. Follow directions if a boil water message is in effect. You can treat water to make it safer. You can boil water for